resolutions are easy to keep. Maybe you promised yourself you'd eat healthier, but pizza still seems like a better idea. Or you said you'd read more, but your favorite show just launched a new season. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, we can help you keep your New Year's resolution. We offer the biggest selection, best prices, and the easiest car buying experience. Let's make a resolution to visit Beaver Toyota or Beaver Chevrolet, where we'll wow you with a new ride for the new year.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Cougar Nation, time to rise and shine and start your day with Duval Sports Media Big Steppers. Dan Hicken.
You know it!
Jeff Proctor.
It's a big deal.
Gosh, it sure is a big deal.
And E to the T.
E.T. is in the booth.
Rise and shine. Googans, go time on a Monday morning. It's the Monday morning quarterback. And oh, no, he isn't. E.T. out today. Dan Hicken. Oh, the justice system right now could be in peril. Jury duty today. Am I allowed to say that? I don't think that's top secret, is it? RJ, good morning. In
Morning,
for E.T., who's off handling his own business, as we say. How we doing? Good weekend?
Yeah, man. How about you?
Yeah. These youngins, man, they grab the short straw now when they got to come in for a day and do the show. I think they'd all commit to it, feet on fire for an extended period of time. But when you get to one day, we appreciate you coming in, getting up nice and early today. You had your Lakers probably yesterday. You're watching last night.
Yeah, a little bit of Lakers last night, but I couldn't watch the whole game just due to the fact that I had to be here.
Yeah, welcome to my world, friend. See? Imagine facing that dilemma each and every night. All right, anyway, I know it's the first question that you all have, okay? Because I know that I got hit by text left and right, probably starting about, 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, which maybe some of you all thought would be the ETA for the 8 o'clock bell time river run on Saturday morning. So here's the quick synopsis. I'll go a little deeper later when we get everybody up and at 'em. First question, yes. That's the first answer, yes. Yes, I did do the river run. Got my old self up, got downtown plenty of time, ahead of time, raring to go. Yes, my good buddy Cole Pepper, met up with him pre-race. We with a plan. He had a group with him. This is going to be fantastic. We're just going to try and run a little bit, nice leisurely pace. We're going to walk a little bit. Pep's my guy. Here we go. And right before we start, and by the way, when the race starts today, that's when like the contenders go out. And then they send you out in waves. There's like 16, 17,000 people, RJ, downtown, right outside the stadium. Yeah. Like headed down Bay Street, back toward the Main Street Bridge, up and over the Main Street Bridge, down through San Marco, along the river, down at ultimately through some neighborhoods, down Atlantic to the Hart Bridge, up that bastage.
Now, was there any like pre-training for you? Like, did you say like, man, let me get up at like 5, like, after the show, right. I'm going to train a little bit.
Yeah. Here's this narrative has been woven into the fabric. When I lost the bet and decided to do the river run, the idea was to train. The idea was to train, and I went out, and I got a couple of Googans in particular. Shout out to you two who sent me programs. They were very supportive, had my back the whole way. I met one of them at one of the remotes, one of my two coaches. So, point being, I was going to train. I was going to get myself up to speed. And I went out and hit the road about 3 times, and my knee and my back just weren't going to hold up. So I had to make a decision. I'm going to have to sacrifice building up the cardio. But if I put in 50, 60 miles on the road here in the next 6 weeks to get ready for this, I'm going to be a mess, man. I'm going to be too hurt to do it. I'd rather just wait, hope, knock on wood, hold up physically, back, knees, ankles, shins, all those good things. And I'll just pray for the cardio. And I intended to train and ultimately decided what was going to do me. It would make me less likely to finish pain-free than more likely. So I winged it. Anyway, right before a race, I'm going to hit the portalette real quick, and all that coffee and water has hit me. And I'm going to meet up with Pep, and we're going to do the race. And I come back out, and it's just a massive humanity. And I walk up and down the line, and I've lost him. So anyway, we're off. I just took a nice trot pace and shocked myself with this one. I ran the first 5K, the first 3.1 I did without stopping and walking. I would have lost a bet with myself on that one. I would have never thought that was even possible. But you get kind of caught up in the environment, the atmosphere, the adrenaline gets going. Listen, if you loved running, that'd be a fun event, man. You runners, I see how that's it'd be fun. If I loved running, what a fun day that'd be. Get down there, run a race, try and compete for a time, pound some beers when you're done, call it a day. I feel y'all. I mean, for me, I lost a bet. So anyway, and I've been in your category, at least to a degree. Once you stop running the river run trying to beat a time, once you just go to pass fail rather than a grade, anywho, so I shocked myself by running about the first 3 miles, and so then I decide, even though I'm feeling okay cardio-wise, I've taken a nice leisurely pace here. I'm good. Just plodding along. And now I'm like, okay, I'm 3 miles in. I got 6 miles to go. I'm good. We're going. Then I say, you know what? I better walk here. I just better walk just to walk.
Pace yourself?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm thinking the whole time I'm worried about the cardio, RJ. Twice I've done this mile run. I've gone out too fast. I've lost my breath, not been able to catch it back, and then you're cash. So I'm super worried about that. I kept that throttle low the whole time, really. I never got stressed cardio. I'm not going to lie. I said a quick prayer before we started. I said, God, I need your scuba tank for this one. Give me a couple hours. Let me suck air off your scuba tank because I am not ready for this. So I stopped the run. Run is a loose word, gang. To walk a little bit at the 3.1 mark at the 5K. And, buddy, when I did that, those legs were like, ooh, wobbly and unsteady. And I'm like, oh, I'm stressing this to the point that I just started running again because look, no, I'm going to run. So I run basically to about the 4 mile mark. About the 4 mile mark, and then I start mixing in some walking, and I kind of get the feeling of my legs and moving from the other to the other. And then the best thing I did is I didn't go by some schedule. I didn't run 2 minutes, walk 1, or run 0.3 of a mile, walk a 10th. I didn't do anything like that. I just walked, and then I would jog. It might be 100 yards. It might be 0.2 of a mile. And I'd walk a little bit. It might be a half a mile. And mile 6, I lost the legs. They were gone. They were heavy. They were sore. They were hurt. They were taking a pounding. I thought I was more worried about the cardio. I was not really concerned with the physical. And pounding those legs for that first hour and a half, by then they were, that was rough.
Did you see what your final time was?
Yeah, 2:01, which is way ahead of what we all kicked around here. 13-minute pace. That was buoyed by the fact that I, quote-unquote, ran I started at like a just over 10-minute pace for the first 3 miles, and that's just moving. And again, I was able to do that without stressing myself cardio-wise, which shocked me. Power of prayer, gang. And then by the time I got to the bridge, bro, it was rough. Now my legs are really dead, super dead. And that I've done this race 6 or 7 times, this run 6 or 7 times before. And I was always shooting for a time. I don't ever recall walking up the bridge. Perhaps I did in one of the ones, but that's a long walk, man.
But you just said walking up.
Yeah, the
bridge. The up part.
It's because here's what you don't realize, really. When you start going up the on-ramp there, which is the off-ramp, if you're coming the other direction, off of Atlantic and then onto the Heart. From that point to the top, it's like a mile. It's not a quarter mile. It is just, it is up there. You pass the 8 mile mark kind of at the bottom of the bridge, and then the 8.3, which tells you have 1 mile left. It's not even to the top when you pass it. So yeah, it's just, man, you just want to get over that crest. And even though you're not going to sprint down, it's so much easier going downhill than uphill at that stage. So yeah, we got her in at 2:01. Super, super sore, but uninjured. So that's a win. And we put it to bed, and what a great time. And look, a lot of folks very, very, very nice to me on Saturday. So,
would the missus ever do this with you?
Man, this is not. No. Just we're talking like knees and ankles and joints and stuff. It's just
you two walk it together or something like that.
Yeah, I mean we could, or I could go out to the beach and take a nice 5-mile walk in the sunrise.
That's a lot better than me.
I mean, I get it. I wasn't worried about getting 9.5 miles in. I really, really wasn't. But I didn't think I'd be running as much as I was, and that took a bigger toll on my legs, I guess, than I was expecting. Because really, by about mile 6, my legs now are like, oof. I wish I'd be done. But what shocked me more than anything was running in the 3 without stopping out the gates. I don't know what the heck happened there. Anywho, I've wasted enough of your time on my dalliances from Saturday. Overall takeaway: if you like running, if you run for I ran for years, never liked it. It was just the only form of exercise I could squeeze into a schedule that included 2 jobs and 3 kids under the age of 10. A run you can squeeze where you need. And I've done the river, but I never loved running. It was always, for me, it's a chore from leaving the house to when I come back. It's a work, which now leads me back to Saturday to sum up. I get a work day for that, right? Is that a comp day? I feel like that was a work day Saturday, going down and paying off that bet. It's a long, hard work day, and I am feeling it. By the way, if you're on YouTube this morning, good morning, first of all. And if you're not and you have the capability of being, you may as well include it as part of your digestion process every morning. I will show you. This is without embellishment, and we'll see, because it's a big question when I get out of my seat, RJ, to just how sore I am. Dude, I'm sore. Like,
not enough hot showers and cold tubs.
It's just the pounding head. I need probably one more day. I'll be okay. But like I said, uninjured. Like the knees aren't bothering me. There's nothing like hurt. But just my muscles are sore.
Are you doing any like grunts when you get up?
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy, here we go.
This is it right here. I'm not going to add anything for effect. This is just what I'd do if I was sitting in a room alone by myself. Yes.
Yeah, I know those.
That's right.
The slow walk.
Yeah. Now when
your body's got to get into it.
When you get up and you get up to speed, you can see me. Hello, YouTube. Hello. When you get up to speed and you're walking around, you can make it around.
But you're going to start out with a limp.
Oh, man. You know what the worst is? It's like getting up twice to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, falling out of that bed, and, getting on those legs that are just like, why did you do what? I can just hear my legs saying, what are we doing? Hey, what are we doing?
Lay down.
Hey, what are we doing? All right, let's come back and get into some Jags, shall we? Got enough of this nonsense. I'd love to be a fly on the wall inside Jags headquarters today. And let me tell you why today more than any other. You want to talk about a laser sharp switch in focus as an organization? I think you leave Indy, you turn the lights off, you go dark for a week, and you immediately shine a spotlight in another very important area. I'll tell you what I mean. If you haven't figured it out yet, when we return, we're up and rolling here. It's the Monday Morning Quarterback coming at you live from the DivorceMenOnly.com studios here for the drill each and every morning now. So, as always, protecting the rights of men and all family law issues, it's DivorceMenOnly.com.
The drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Put some wedge in your next chassis adjustment.
He said he was a little bit free.
This Sunday at Phoenix, NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on your NASCAR station. 1010XL.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
When persistent plumbing problems leave you feeling flushed, don't panic. Call Roland Reich. They quote all pricing in advance, so your only surprise is how quickly they'll solve your issue. Roland Reich Plumbing, plumbingjacksonville.com.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash, there are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Westside, live local radio for Jacksonville. 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
To get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daly's Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daly's Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daly's Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. She can STEM, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Or clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can STEM, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors to get the job done right, Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit for a demo today.
Greater power for the great outdoors. Coastal Equipment.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in the clinic.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, something on your mind, a better way to live your life. I hope you find it.
All right,
quarterbacks, the Monday Morning Quarterback, live inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. Thanks for being up and at 'em with us on a Monday. The calendar turns to March. Let the madness begin. RJ, I have a question for you. The Florida Gators, big win over the weekend. I say big win. Texas A&M came in kind of limping, and Florida kept them down. They fell down early, Florida did, but there's something about the bounce back with this team. They haven't lost back-to-back games. They got a little fire in their pants, it feels like, when they give you a lethargic effort, and I think that's how you would sum up what happened at Georgia midweek. Really has not put them in a position to cost them too much. Florida can play their way, and we've said this all along, right back to a top seed. They right now, they're 4 in the net rankings, but in the latest reveal, they'd be a 2 seed, according to the NCAA. And then we had results this weekend, and, those matter as well. But it's really interesting how it plays out here in the SEC tournament, how much stock is put in that. Because Florida, Auburn, let's go kind of in my order, if I was ranking them. Auburn, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee. Those are 4 really, really good teams. Does the difference between being a 1 or 2 matter for the 2 that don't get it, or the 3 that don't get it, or the 1 that doesn't get it, depending on what happens? The bottom line is those 4 got to go through say it all plays out by seed. They got to go through the meat grinder of playing each other in the SEC tournament. I'll remind you, this is how Alabama is finishing the basketball season. They played at Tennessee on Saturday. They lost in a heartbreaking, long buzzer beater 3-pointer to the Vols. They host Florida this week, and then they finish with Auburn. So, maybe make your determination on what you think Alabama is right now. What a finish that is. And point being, though, then they all got to go into the SEC tournament. And we haven't gotten into the other more fringy teams, Kentucky's, the A&M's, the Ole Miss, Mississippi States, Vandy. It's gotten hot here late. And there are going to be a couple other stragglers from the SEC between Georgia and Oklahoma and Arkansas and perhaps Texas, depending. Those teams will be playing with urgency in the SEC tournament. I want to know if we've gotten to the point, if you have a league as strong as the SEC, do you make that big of a, I guess you do, especially if they're playing each other. But what ended up being a relatively easy win for the Gators at home against Texas A&M over the weekend. The net rankings right now through the weekend play, Florida's back to number 4. They were number 5 when we left you this weekend, so I'm assuming Alabama has fallen behind them, and Florida has stayed ahead of Tennessee. But if I gave you this offer right now, RJ, do you do the brackets and all that good stuff?
Yeah, here and there.
Who doesn't? If I gave you right now the Auburn, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, or the field to win it all, what'd you take?
Goodness.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's tough.
Auburn looks really, really good.
Yeah.
I feel like Duke is the second best team, though, but it's harder to know with Duke because they haven't faced the game after game after game challenge that this year the SEC has brought. Certainly not every year. This one year does not make you basketball king of the world, but this year, the conference has proven that you get tested. If you let your guard down at some of these jaunts around the SEC, you're going to get upset that week and embarrassed if you're not careful.
Have you gotten into the mode yet as a Florida Gator alum where you're like, you know what? I think we got a chance. Like you legitimately think we have a chance.
Yeah, we crossed that probably with the Auburn win. When Florida won at Auburn, it got to the point, and really before the hiccup at Georgia last week, it felt like they had pretty much settled in as either a 1 or a high 2. Now, I think that could change. You go lose to Alabama this week and then get upset by Ole Miss and then go lose in the first round of the SEC tournament. You'll be a 3 seed. So that urgency is going to remain for sure. What a big game it is, though. What a marker game at Alabama on Wednesday. And here's Bama. You're going to get them ornery, angry after losing at Tennessee. It's an important game for them and their seeding. And Florida's really answered the bell in a couple of these situations, particularly at Auburn. So we'll see. What a big game on Wednesday. Florida and Bama. We're more accustomed to Florida Bama being a big game in football when the programs are cooperating. I'm talking to you, Billy Napier. I probably still have to go field. It's just such a wild event, such a hard tournament. I mean,
64 teams.
Yeah, as good as those 4 are, you could very well lose more than one by the time you get to the Sweet 16. But I think it'd be close to an even odds. Maybe, probably get a little bit of plus money if you were taking just those 4 SEC teams. It looks like Auburn's the best team. They've got 16 quad 1 wins. And I'll spare you the details on how they determine the quads, but just as an example, Auburn is 16-2 in quad 1. Duke is 6-3. Florida is 6-4. Auburn has 10 more quality quad 1 wins than Duke and Florida, more than the 2 of them combined. Tennessee and Bama each have 10. I mean, look, Florida's 6 and Duke's 6 is a good number. Don't get me wrong. But 16 for Auburn. And then 16-2 there and undefeated against quads 2, 3, and 4. But Duke also hadn't lost to 2, 3, or 4. Nor has Houston, nor has Florida, nor has Tennessee, nor has Alabama. Those are really the only ones, though, that have completely avoided the upset. All right, now back to being that wall on Jags headquarters right now. That'd be a fun time. And buddy, it's like there is a pronounced, I think, at least in the upper brain trust, of we're going to got to go complete dark now on college prospects, don't we? We put in all this time at the Combine. We had the Senior Bowl before that. We have gotten all our notes and diligence. We can now transcribe each and every interview. We'll have the lower levels, the assistant quality control guys cut up every bit of tape on all of these prospects that we like. Let's get it exactly by the new form as we move forward. Let's let the college kids aren't going anywhere for a month and a half until draft day. 2 months. They're not going anywhere. We've had every opportunity. We've got pro days on campus coming up in a week or 2. You got to shut her down, don't you? Lights out on the college scouting and whoosh, spotlight on free agency. Because that's what's first. And that's what starts next week at Players. March 10th, you can start, a week from today, you can start talking, and the 12th on Wednesday, you can start signing. And every time they push back that date of when you can, quote, start talking, it feels like the start signing comes right after, doesn't it? I mean, they back it up, and then the, quote, collusion, it just happens anyway. So all they do is back up the day, and feels like deals are done as soon as you get to midnight on tampering day. Whatever. But what is the Jags' approach? They got 1 week. Right? And look, they've been doing work on this. Don't get me wrong, but we got a late start here. It was like 10 minutes ago we introduced our new GM, who immediately, right after the get to know you, gets on a plane to get to the Combine for the beginning of it. It's like a week ago, gang. And now you've got to make some important, and this is where the salaries come in, and how good are you at navigating and managing what you have. And that goes for who you might sign from somewhere else and from who you might try and retain in some manner. As we get deeper into the offseason, and we're still shallow, not even to the halfway point. But you see other moves being made. The big move in the league this weekend was Deebo Samuel getting traded to the Commanders. I don't want Deebo Samuel. I didn't want any part. I know 5th rounder. Look, if you give it to me for a 5th rounder and it doesn't kill my salary cap, sure, I guess I would have kicked the tires on it, but that's not a priority for me. But it is another, if it was an option, it's not there anymore. T. Higgins, by all accounts, is going to be franchised again if they can't come to a deal. What upgrade? Chris Godwin's coming off an injury. What upgrade is out there if it's not Christian Kirk? That's a nice, by the way, high 2 receiver. We had Christian Kirk here when he played healthy, sustained for a couple years, was doing a decent job as a low 1. 1,000-yard seasons, lots of catches, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns. He was not like overwhelmed in that role of being a 1. He'd be a fantastic number 2 receiver. But BTJ is him. We got a number 1. So I don't know what kind of salary restructuring it takes, what kind of conversations are involved, but I'm just looking at the landscape, the free agent landscape, and I don't want to go so far as to say it's a priority, but it's priority-ish to me at this stage that we get Christian Kirk in the fold on the ground running, and by the way, Levis, in my opinion, will still work to do at the receiver position, but now you take a flyer on a later round guy, and the Rams have hit on those types, hit on Nakua, hit on Cooper Kupp to a degree, not super deep. I think he was a third rounder. They had a rookie receiver last year, Jordan Whittingham, who flashed when asked, but of all the either, and I know Kirk's not a free agent. That's somebody on your team that you're trying to decide whether you want the salary cap room or do you want the talent. And I said this early when we started approaching the offseason. It's clear a lot of change needs to be made here, but I do not want this. I do not want at any point to feel like I'm leaving last season into this and I have downgraded in any of my swap outs. Last year we downgraded, didn't we? We brought in Savage and he wasn't as good as Rayshon Jenkins was. We let Darius Williams go. We brought in Darby. He wasn't near as good as Darius Williams was. So are you going to move on from Christian Kirk? Don't sell me Parker Washington. Don't sell me Darius Slayton. Don't sell me just some guy.
If I could ask you this.
Yeah.
When it comes to wide receivers.
Yeah.
Because this team in particular, in the number one market in the country, just said that they're probably going to be looking for a trade partner for one Davante Adams.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to Davante Adams. Is he still A-game Davante Adams? Or are you getting like the DeAndre Hopkins that the last couple of teams have gotten? Right? Good, not great. He looked pretty good here in Jacksonville when he ripped us to shreds. What are we talking about giving up, and what's the salary? Put it in the terms that I just set up. It's an upgrade.
Yeah, would a good Davante Adams be a great number two here?
Yes. Oh, gosh. The only thing that you get with Davante Adams is you may call him a 2. I may call him a 2. Let me tell you who calls him a 1. Davante Adams. And but he's later in it. How old is Davante Adams anyway? Probably in his 30s by now, isn't he? I mean, if you're talking Davante Adams over Christian Kirk, you bet. Sign me up. What's the cost? If you trade a fourth rounder for Davante Adams and you save the salary cap money by letting Kirk go, and then you just apply that to what you're getting and expected to pay for Adams, yeah, I'll take that. Sure. Ultimately, the second receiver here, the complimentary receiver, is going to have to be found by James Gladstone and the Jaguars front office. Going to have to find him one year. It may not be this year. I mean, do they throw a total curveball and go with this Tet McMillan from Arizona with the 5th pick? I don't think so. By the way, I'm now, after watching the combine and the news and the filters of this, this arm length and this 40 time, I know what my draft strategy would be. We can dive into that later. Let's stick where we are now, though, and that's the roster and maneuvering it and upgrading. And free agency is the first, is the first of that. And so you go from all-intensive college prospects with the combine and the interviews and the prospect research. And now it's like, shut the light on that. We can go dark for a week. Nothing's going anywhere. Now, look, you got some staff doing some stuff. Don't get me wrong. But now we got to be right in free agency. Got to be right in the money we spend. We've not been right in that area. Now, you could argue it cost Trent Baalke a lot more than the draft did. I mean, you could make arguments for Baalke's survival if you strictly went by draft guys and are fair enough to give guys time to develop. Right? We were all ready to shoot Brenton Strange to the sun after his rookie year and the no stats that came along with it. But after last year, the argument could be made that, perhaps that is a weapon here. That's here's been the problem. The tipping point for all Jags, they tip in the wrong direction. Every time we get a guy trending toward, is he going to be a playmaker? Is he going to border on elite? He falls off. Devon Hamilton, Tyson Campbell, Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence. I can go on and on. Guys that seem to be building a crescendo to, are they going to take that step and poof, for whatever reason, whether it's them, their teammates, injuries. And you can make cases for each of those for different reasons. And injuries are a part of all those guys that I mentioned. But nonetheless, it just hadn't happened. But I think Strange had maybe 40, 41 catches last year, 600-700 yards, touchdowns. He certainly showed some things for sure. But we got lots more coming up with the Jags. We talked to Freddie T today. It's the Monday morning running back. So we'll talk to Fred Taylor coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Lots coming your way here on the Monday Morning Quarterback. We're live inside the DivorcedMenOnly.com studios. You're listening to 1010 XL.
The Drill at the DivorcedMenOnly.com studios.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Arnold Palmer Invitational this week at Bay Hill. Scotty Scheffler, the plus 330 favorite. Rory McIlroy, 7-1. Xander Schauffele, 13-1. Atlantic Sun Tournament quarterfinals at Swisher Gymnasium today. Jacksonville Dolphins, 2.5-point favorites over Eastern Kentucky. 142.5 the total. Dolphins, 15-1. To win the Atlantic Sun Tournament title and earn the league's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Southern laying 3.5 against Florida A&M, 141.5 the total at the Al Lawson Center in Tallahassee, where the Rattlers are 9-2 this season. Southern 13-2 in the SWAC. $250 bonus and you open up a GBank Visa signature card. Visa.com/GBank. Mike Sennett, 1010XL.
When it rains, it better drain. If storm drains on your commercial property aren't doing their job, this is a major liability that needs to be corrected. Call Duck Duck Rooter to have your storm drains jetted and cleaned with our powerful vac con truck. We'll clear the way for better drainage. Call 904-862-6769. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jags. Duck Duck Rooter, your fully insured certified plumbing and underground utility contractor.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here with Matt and Catherine. They made the decision to lose weight and improve their lives together, both dropping 33 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss.
She came home so excited one day and said, I heard about Awaken 180. I'm so excited. You have to try it with me. It's not medication. It's not a shot. It's food. You're going to make meals. And I think that was one of the biggest selling points.
What makes Awaken 180 different is the maintenance program. Just to know that you get that support gives me the confidence to keep going. I think it's important for people to know how much more fun it is to do it with a partner. Just to have the support system, it's so much more helpful.
It's going to change your life.
Thanks, guys. Like any goal, accomplishing it with someone sharing the same goal makes it twice as easy and twice as rewarding. Grab a coworker, friend, or spouse and make your 180 with the solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging in the mirror? Fine lines, sun damage, redness? They don't have to be part of your future. I'm Dr. Mark Capsule, a board-certified dermatologist, and I can help you look and feel your best without invasive surgery or painful treatments. Imagine rejuvenating your skin in a relaxing, comfortable environment with minimal to no downtime. Smooth out fine lines, even skin tone, and restore that youthful glow. Find out how to look and feel your best at dermagnify.com. Dermagnify.com.
If you never saw Zeppelin live, now you can know what it's like. And if you did, relive the magic of Led Zeppelin live. Get the Let Out is back at Florida Theater March 12th. Get the Let Out. Find out what it felt like to see Zeppelin live. Get tickets now at floridatheater.com.
Lauren Brooks here. At Hodges Mazda, they are proud of their solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. As your hometown Mazda dealer, their high customer service standards and their huge inventory of new and used cars provide their customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Their professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interest first without exception. And all new vehicle purchases include the Hodges Mazda Protection Package. Visit them online at HodgesMazda.com or stop in today to learn more and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gator! Hey folks, Hicken here for Zero Res. You're going to want to beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Hey, and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Don't forget about your air ducts. Your air ducts sort of like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them Dan or 1010XL sent you. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. Tired of drafty, noisy vinyl windows? It's time to say goodbye to vinyl. And hello to lasting comfort with Renewal by Andersen Windows and Doors. Our exclusive Fibrex windows are 2 times stronger than vinyl, more energy efficient, and custom built to fit your home perfectly. No more warping, no more cracking, just beautiful, durable windows that stand the test of time. Right now, get special financing or save big with limited time discounts. Call Renewal by Andersen today and say bye-bye vinyl. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. Don't wait. Upgrade today. License number CGC 1527613.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Your yard's starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 50% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we're back. There's nice comfort in just not sitting on that bubble. Florida basketball, Mike White had him on that bubble every year, which is, I guess, dramatic in a way, but it's nice to just be kind of cruising into the tournament. All those teams that they just rise and fall and live and die with every win or defeat. The SEC's the bottom of that league. Those teams, depends on who's hot, whether they're in or not. And right now it's Vandy and Georgia that have been improving their stock. The Dogs, after beating Florida, went on the road and beat Texas. And Vandy is they beat Missouri, came from behind and beat Missouri. So Vanderbilt's back to like 500 in the conference and playing good basketball. But no, it is a season ender for our friends over there on St. John's Bluff. UNF went on the road to play in the ASUN first rounder. They took on Austin P, and things were going great. 45-38 at the half. Birds of Trey had the lead. I'm following this. They're up like 57-53 or something like that. And I'm trying to get on my ESPN Plus, and I don't know, it's gotten reset. I can't remember passwords, so I get frustrated, and I'm watching, I don't know, an NBA game or something. I go back to my phone, and they're down like 15. And I'm like, what just happened? And that continued. After winning the first half 45-38, the Ospreys lost the second half 52-34. 24 rather. Lost the second half by 28 points. Wait, it gets worse, man. Let me see what the score was here at one. Oh, we took a nice big lead in this ball game, boys. Yeah, you got to win to stay alive. Season ends without it. And we're up 10-2. We're up, good gracious, we're up 15-4. We're up 20. We're up 31-13. From 31-13, so from an 18-point lead to a 21-point loss.
Basketball, the ultimate game of runs.
It's like a 40-point swing. And by the way, they had that 15-point. Okay. Oh, my gosh. 8 minutes to go in the half. They lead 31-13. All right, then we go. Where's my second half here? What am I doing? Then we go to the second half. And let's see what the lead was. Yeah, 56. It's 56-48. Still, it's 58-50. It's 58-50 still with 16 minutes to go, man. And and then it just craters, dude. They're up by 1 with 13 minutes to go. It's 58-57. And then with 3 minutes to go, 10 minutes later, it's 83-69. This is just a run. It ends the season for North Florida. JU plays today, and they got to win. You got to win every game. You want to tiptoe into the madness. And by the way, I think the ASUN winner's probably gonna have to play one of those play-ins, right? One of those first fours. Is that what they call them? But anywho, there you go. Fire up the band. We got a football fix. It is brought to you this morning by the home course, Jointed Creek Golf Club. Tee it high and let it fly. I will say the one area where the Jags get way overlooked, okay? And it's not so much about coverage in season or power rankings but it's like we're never considered, like, I'll give it like this example. Devontae Adams becomes available. Top contenders to land, top landing spots for Jets receiver. Like, we never even get included in those. Like, y'all don't think we want to get better? Like, why would Devontae Adams be a better fit in Green Bay than here, or in Pittsburgh than here, or with the Chargers than here? What are we?
Yeah, I saw one article said the Broncos. I'm like, the Broncos over us?
Just say it, man. I mean, that's where it gets a little strange to me that, you're going to write a column like that and the Jags aren't even going to be included. All right. Oh, well. You do you. Talked about one receiver no longer on the market. Deebo Samuel traded to the Commanders. Look, Samuel is 31 now. He's awful beat up. He's been an all-pro in his career, but he plays with a wrecking ball. But it is a contract year, so perhaps he's a piece that can help put the Commanders over the top. Certainly makes news. Only cost a fifth-rounder to pick him up. Matthew Stafford has agreed to that restructure deal with the Rams. It felt like we were headed that way all along, and so indeed that's where we land. Could it be New York for Aaron Rodgers? Suddenly there's a little scuttlebutt about the Giants perhaps adding him. You better have a succession plan in place, because that's the problem with New York. You committed 2 years to Aaron Rodgers, 1 to injury, 1 to whatever. And you got nothing out of it, and it's 2 more years sacrifice in finding and developing a young quarterback. I mean, say what you want about Trevor Lawrence and where they are. There's a lot invested. He's had some success in addition to failure. He's on solid footing moving forward, and you can look forward in 3 or 4 years. In those years of taking some of these hardships of growth, you hope yield fruit moving forward. Well, the Jets just keep prolonging that process because they can never draft the right young guy to put in that position. All right, the Rams and Alaric Jackson have agreed to a 3-year, $57 million contract. He had been scheduled to go into free agency next month. I said this before, if it's a Ram, if it's a Viking, if it's a Packer, I pay a little bit more attention, because the brain trust here for the Jags is made up of guys from that organization. And you know what? It's not always people you would consider bringing in. But I was thinking this about a couple of players on the Jaguars roster. Darnell Savage, the Jags brought in from free agency. The Jags' new defensive coordinator had him in Green Bay. What are the thoughts preconceived coming in there? Ezra Cleveland, guard. Our offensive coordinator now comes from the Vikings, an organization that sent him packing. I mean, you got two guys that organizations let go. Green Bay, by the way, just plays the game at a different level than we do. They're playing chess. We're playing checkers. We take Savage. The guy they signed to replace Savage is an all-pro. McKinney, right? Xavier McKinney. So you got. Hopefully we got some chess players, man. We had a bunch of good old boys sitting in bib overalls playing checkers out on the front porch drinking sweet tea. The movers and the shakers using apps. We're using flip phones. More from the National Football League, all packaged up nice and tidy for you, the football fix. Man, the combine workouts are done. Last to run yesterday. If there's ever been a measurement, a stat, a drill that means less to me, it's an offensive tackles 40. Although I guess if you get out in space, you do have 8 to 10 times a year where you're full on sprinting downfield. Perhaps it helps you a little bit there, but I would imagine that the big fellas stand out with their footwork in closed quarters. I'm a lot more interested in what my guy can do with a couple of boa constrictors inside of a phone booth than I am running a flat out 40. That Will Campbell had a nice 40-yard dash yesterday. I will say this, Pacelli kind of carried that athleticism. I can't remember what Tony ran, if it was just over 5 or just under 5. I kind of feel like with offensive tackle, Google that for me. Tony Pacelli combine numbers. By the way, this is no way meant to have some correlation between Will Campbell being in the draft and Tony. I'm just curious. I've always thought, though, if a big offensive lineman can run a 5.040, that's quick to me. I mean, you're not going to be. I know Tony can run under 5.0 because I saw him chase down a DB here in Jacksonville. We've talked about that. Over 5 at the combine, 5.2, just under 5 for Will Campbell, who I think could be in play for the Jaguars. If they love this guy, there is no reason he wouldn't be play at number 5. Again, I'm now locked in on my draft strategy, and we're going to come back next segment and go there. For now, that's Football Fix. Got more combine news we'll drip in as we go through the morning. Still going to talk to Fred Taylor later today. Paul Feinbaum with indictment's too harsh of a word, but he's throwing an e-card on Billy Napier in one non-development from this offseason. I think he's right. I think most of Gator Nation thinks he's right. Dan doesn't, per se. So anyway, more on that as we move along today as well. More from River Run Saturday. Yes, I did run. Some people have said, hey, I wanted to look up your time. Y'all, if you were here Friday, the thing sold out so fast that they closed the registration before the posted deadline. So I missed registration, and please don't send the River Run police at me. But one of the Googans was going to run with his son. His son couldn't run. He gave me his bib, so that's why I don't show up there. I have the body scars to prove it. Trust me. You're listening to The Drill. It's right here on the Monday Morning Quarterback, booming at you from now moving forward inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
The Drill. From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. It's the season of sandals and sundresses.
And the Players' Championship.
Listen for 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Shadowed by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Dramagnify.
And Kingfish Pest Control.
Jags fans, here's your chance to score a trip to Green Bay for round 1 of draft night. Through the Everbank Draft Night Experience Sweepstakes, one lucky winner and a guest will be there live and in person to see the Jaguars make their first pick. To enter, visit everbank.com/draft by April 4th. That's everbank.com/draft. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 3/3/25 to 4/4/25. For official rules, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/draft. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of. And you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Share a cup of coffee and range balls with Dan, Jeff, and PGA pros. Tour news, tips, and inside info.
Sounds like a lot of club for this young man.
Brunch with the tour.
Brought to you by Clearwater Irrigation, 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy, you look worried.
Worried? I'm apoplectic!
You're what now?
I'm freaking out, Jason. Stupid water heater crapped out, so I haven't showered since Thursday. I start smelling a little funky, blow my big corporate job interview tomorrow, I'll end up settling for some dead-end career selling spatulas on the internet.
Dude, stay cool.
There's nothing cool about a cold shower, Jason. I mean, I know how that sounds, but
Bueller Air and Plumbing can get a new water heater installed today. The day you call. You could be smelling fresh again by dinner time.
Wait, you can do that?
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Is that cooler?
Oh, yeah.
Well, life moves pretty fast. If you spend much more time smelling like this, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of homeownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making homeownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the American dream. So, are you ready? Own the dream. Visit Rocket.com. That's Rocket.com.
At The Players, we are proud to support the Players Champions First Generation Scholarship Fund at UNF. Established to provide college scholarships to students who are the first in their families to attend college. It's just 8 days until the Players.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Yo, it's your boy E to the T here, and I know that getting into an accident is stressful, but getting the proper care doesn't have to be. That's why I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. Even if you're at fault, your insurance covers you. And remember, you have the right to choose your own doctor. Even a minor accident can cause whiplash for years if it goes untreated. So don't wait. Call the auto accident experts at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Your recovery starts today.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL, brought to you by Clay Solar Installation Partners. The number 8 Florida baseball team won its series against Miami, but snapped its 11-game win streak yesterday after dropping Game 3 by 6 runs. The Gators clinched the series in Game 2 Saturday thanks to a trio of homers, 2 from Luke Heyman, who finished with a team-high 4 RBI. Florida looks to get back on track tomorrow against UCF with first pitch at 6. The number 3 Gators men's basketball team bounced back against number 12 Texas A&M Saturday with a dominant win by 19. Will Richard hit 6 threes and grabbed 6 rebounds on his way to a game-high 25 points. Florida next faces number 6 Alabama Wednesday. Catch play-by-play at 7 on 92.5 FM. This year's Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. It's 47 degrees at 7 o'clock. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we are back. It's 7:02. If you're waiting for a you know it, you'll have to wait another day. He takes that booming voice and type A personality into the wheels of justice, into the scales of justice this morning. Dan Hicken has jury duty, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see.
Some guys get all the luck.
See if the what's it called? It's not vetting. It's vouloir. Is that what it is? Vouloir? Something like that? Some term like that. Go through the vetting. We'll see if they keep them. Don't make that mistake, gang. RJ apparently has found some he's found some. We got to be careful what we do here, but we've got some inside the courtroom audio we've got for you coming up a little bit. We've got our plants everywhere here on the drill, that's for sure. Look, the combine is over, so that's certainly one of the top stories. But with RJ in for ET this morning, he's also out and about. So the 2 backseaters will be back with us tomorrow. But for now, we charge forward. We got Freddie T coming up in a little bit over an hour. The Jaguars, I think, in many ways, can shift their focus from the college prospects to this, pro side of the personnel department with free agency decisions that are being made. Conversations, I'm sure, are being had with Christian Kirk and maybe some of the unrestricted free agents. Kirk, whether or not, it can be restructured to a point that they can get better. And I think that's your selling point here if you're the Jaguars to Christian Kirk. I think in any world, the Jaguars are not better if they let Christian Kirk go. This isn't some ringing endorsement for Christian Kirk as some ultimate difference maker, and he darn sure has to stay healthy. It's been a big part of the Jaguars' struggles the last couple of years as well. But say that about any player. But at the end of the day, back to kind of the hope when this whole process started, if you go back to that, the one thing that we can't stand anymore is when a switch out in a position is made, it damn well better be an upgrade. Every single time. If it means staying the same while you upgrade somewhere else, then you stay the same. But you can't swing for an upgrade and get a downgrade, and then on top of that, not stay the same. That's how you go, from a couple of back-to-back, barely, but winning seasons into the tank, picking 5th now in the draft. And so here, a lot of different ways to get better. And one of the ways that I'm positive you don't get better, getting worse. So if Christian Kirk can't fit in your financial structure or there's other, extenuating circumstances, that's fine and good. But the guy who replaces Christian Kirk as the Jags 2 receiver better be better than Christian Kirk or it's a fail. I don't care if it's sacrificing for this dude to play more, or this expectation from that guy. The end of the season, when you look back, like we can on last year in the free agent decisions that were made, and in many cases, the guy brought in to replace wasn't as good as the guy who left. Well, again, Rayshawn Jenkins for Savage, Darby for Darius Williams. Ridley runs circles around Gabe Davis. Now, I know that that's kind of a combo with what you did in the draft, but just flat out, you lost a receiver in free agency and you picked up a receiver in free agency, each paid handsomely. Gabe Davis made some money now, more than Saquon Barkley, I'll remind you. Let that sink in, how out of whack the NFL is.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Would you consider, if you want to bring in another wide receiver, would Ted McMillan be a consideration?
Well, the problem with that is at what costs? I mean, you sacrifice getting the prospect that you might want there at number 5. And if it's McMillan and that's what you believe in, and Liam Cohen thinks it's ultimately important to right now, listen, I think it might not be the pick that any of us would make, and some, I hear you, would. But I bet you it's one you get real excited about when you really say, okay, now we got Brian Thomas Jr. and this dude. This McMillan guy is like, super skilled, intangible rich. Touchdown catches, yards after catch, average per catch, total receptions, big, 6'5", checks every box.
Travis Hunter said the freakiest athlete he went up against.
Well, so imagine if you're pairing that with Brian Thomas Jr. for the next 4 or 5 years under rookie deals and what you can do in other areas. I mean, as I sit here and consider it, it's taking more root in my brain than maybe it has until this point. But I'll take this switch in direction to say this. After looking at everything that I've seen at the Combine, digesting everything that I've heard, they're telling you down there, they're screaming at you, are you listening? I mean, to me, the answers are coming really clear which direction they're going, and I would not be surprised if the first 3 picks that the Jaguars make in the draft don't all weigh over 300 pounds. They are telling you in uncertain terms how important those trench positions are to them. They've reiterated it. They've said it in different forms. The interior, especially of the offensive and defensive lines, have to be better. So I think ultimately is can you do this? Can you devise a plan where you can still get positions outside of that, yet end up with the same bulk number of those important big men? I say yes. How do you do that? You trade down from 5. And I know everyone says it, every year we should do this, that, or the other. I've never trusted our GMs to trade down, pick up picks, use them valuably, and it make more sense than staying where you are and grabbing the no-brainer star. But I just don't know if that, again, I'm selling my franchise on getting an elite defensive tackle who's physically just the middle of the pack at best. Man, he's that much better in dominating a game. Are we sure against 330-pound interior lineman? Are we sure? I mean, that's a defensive tackle position. It's easy to get lost at that position. I got the 5th pick in the draft, man. I need some Shazam here too.
Wasn't he 320 at?
No, that's what they
Michigan?
said. Yeah, 296 though. So I'm looking at this mock draft, and I mean, and again, you can't strictly go by the mock draft, but in this mock draft, the latest, and this is Ryan Wilson of CBS, so we're not using, and again, with all deference to Dan Hicken, Trapasso. You know what he'd call him, little ears. But, what do you know? Mason Graham here at number 5. But you know who hasn't gone yet? And you know who almost everyone has going at number 6? Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback. They have the Raiders taking a number 6. That's very high and lofty, but if there is somebody back there that is in love with Shedeur, and maybe it's only a couple spots. Maybe the Jets want Shedeur Sanders. They're picking 7th. Maybe they want to trade up 2 spots because they want to get Shedeur Sanders there. Then you drop back to 7 and you add a 3rd rounder or some other pick. But no matter how or what necessitates a team wanting to move up, maybe they have their eye on another player. Maybe it's Ted McMillan. Maybe it's one of those offensive linemen. But imagine if you could get down to like 11 or 12, there's still a lot of guys there, man. The best of the interior offensive line prospects start to show up. You got D-line prospects that show up, and if you can, 3 for the price of 2 might be something that you would want to consider. It would now, I'm not completely committed to that strategy myself, because I think if you're doing it right, you have the opportunity to get the 5th best player available on the planet. Put all of your tools and skills to their top use and go get me the 5th best football player on the planet. When we look back in 10 years, this will be, at worst, the 5th best player taken in this draft, and at best, even higher than that. That's what we got to do more consistently, man. We got way too many, because we pick every year in the daggum top 10. We got way too many misses. just, if you're getting taken in the top 10, you got to be a wrecker, man. I think Josh Allen is like minimally acceptable, and he's a great player by Jaguar standards. He's going to be the all-time sack leader. He probably takes more criticism than he should. 7th pick in the draft, he should be at least what he is. And Trayvon Walker, it's not enough just to be a contributing 10-sack guy. If you're the number 1 pick in the draft, you need to be the number 1 player of the position. There is no other strategy or really acceptable outcome. Maybe this is a year, though, where somebody wants to come way up and you end up with, this Kenneth Grant, the other Michigan defensive lineman. He's up to the middle of the first round now at number 18. So his value is continues to rise. There are other big men, both offensive and defensive line, that are available. The safety position, maybe the top safety on the board becomes available to you if you trade down there into the low teens. Got lots of options. And I don't ever think that they would do it just for show value. But it seems like they're going to be aggressive, doesn't it? Like, would it shock you if we learn that they've made some trade or they've done this, that, or the other? It feels like that's going to be more of a possibility.
That's what I was going to ask you. How many of these glaring issues do you feel before we get to the draft they try to solve in free agency or via trade?
Well, the first thing, this is why I need to be that fly on that wall. We need to know what they say those needs are. Because what we say they are and what they say they are not going to match up equally. Promise you. Be really interesting to get your generic, good fan. Somebody that has knowledge of the roster, watches every game. There are a lot of y'all out there that fall in that category. It'd be really interesting just right now. I ask you to put a not just a letter grade, give me a numerical grade based on the scale that the NFL uses. I'm not going to explain it to you because, we know, right? Y'all know. Yeah, and put a numerical grade on every single Jaguars player, and then I will take that same numerical grade that the franchise is given, 0 to 100 or 50 to 100, however, they do it. And then I will take it into a room by myself, and I will laugh hysterically at the difference between what we numerically put on certain players for the Jaguars and what the team, based on everything that they have to use at their disposal, on what value they put on them. So when you ask me, do you fill the holes? How many of the holes can you fill in free agency? I guess it depends on what's determined are the biggest holes. I do think that they're going to want to build those interiors through. I think they want to build everything that they can through draft.
Okay, some plug-and-play guys through the draft.
But we're going to get an indication on what they do in free agency, just on what Gladstone, how the proof is about to come now in the decision-making. They've all said how close they are and how much they like what they have and the salary.
Communication.
And the fact that they're not a 4-win team and the idea is to compete right away. We want to contend right away. Well, when the Rams were at their finest, they were going and signing high-priced guys, trading for high-priced guys.
F those picks.
Filter, they thought that Matthew Stafford was, once they got Stafford, we're going to get Jalen. We're going to get all these dudes. I mean, every flavor of the month that became available at receiver, they would go and get at various times. They were just going through, Von Miller spent time there, all kinds of big name guys they went and got to be hopefully that final piece. So how big do they swing in free agency? I mean, if they come out of free agency with what would be a big enough name to catch your attention? Who is the top free agent? T. Higgins, isn't it? And he's going to be franchise. T. Higgins is number one. I'm going by NFL.com and a ranking that they put out, looks like about a week ago. T. Higgins, the number one. Trey Smith, they've already said that they're going to either franchise him or he'll get paid, right? We learned that. Yeah, they placed the non-exclusive franchise tag on him, so take that off. Here's the defensive tackle, Milton Williams, from the Eagles. See, that's not a sexy name. All those guys that play for the Eagles, you really got to go deep if you know who Milton Williams is. He was part of that rotation with those big Georgia boys, but word is he was as good as anybody on the field in the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. If they go spend big money on that D tackle, now what can you do on the draft? What if you want to spend a lot of money on Milton Williams? Why am I drafting Brandon or Mason Graham now? I've got a guy who's already developed to be that guy. Now I can take that receiver from Arizona, number 5, if I want. Now I can take. I'm completely freed up if I'm planning on using the 5 pick on a D tackle. And instead I get the best defensive tackle in free agency. Obviously, I no longer need to take a D tackle because, by the way, I have young Mason Smith. I still have Devon Hamilton. I've got some youth in there I can still hope to develop. Eric Armstead's going to switch back inside. And it doesn't preclude me, by the way, from taking a D tackle later with this smorgasbord of picks I have. I was looking at a first, a second, 2 third, and 2 fourth. It's a lot of picks, man.
Could I throw this name out at you?
Yeah.
26 years old.
Okay.
Offensive guard.
Okay.
Mekhi Becton.
Well, there you go. That's another one. May not cost quite as much. That addresses some of the interior issues. That's where I'm really curious what they think. Like Sheriff's off in free agency, but it's one of those weird deals that they bring. They're gonna take a salary cap hit whether they sign him or let him go. Well, I mean, gosh, if you can sign him for less than what the cap hit was going to be anyway, I don't know. I do know this. I'm all for as many new offensive line starters as they want to give me. If it's 5, I'll accept 5. Obviously, it won't be. But anyway, so just how it all plays together. You know, one of those guys, the Osa Odigizua. I don't know how to say these dudes' names for the Cowboys anyway. They say they'll franchise tag him. So we'll also learn some of those. I think today is the day you start putting the tags on, or it's either the deadline to put the tags on. And a week from today, man, it's go time. So to answer your question, if we see them spend top dollar, but again, they better be right. You better be right. You spend all that money and you reward a guy from what he gave and did for another team. Or if you draft them, you know they're all yours. All right, we got RJ in today for ET. Dan Hicken has jury duty, some exclusive, not supposed to be played audio from inside the jury room. We'll see where that takes us. We'll do the 10-minute drill. We'll come back on the other side, though, some of the scoop and sports headlines from around the world of sports. We've got Fred Taylor coming up at the 8 o'clock hour, the Money Morning Running Back, broadcasting live, booming at you this morning from the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Serving up sports talk with special First Coast ingredients.
These are delicious.
1010XL.
Let's bring out the cake.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Florida homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Universal Roof and Contract protects your home and your wallet. Invest in a stronger roof and save big. Spend $6,000 and get up to $600 off. $15,000 up to $2,000 off. $20,000 up to $3,000 off. This deal ends March 31st. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
My name is Ann. I'm 67 years old. I lost 25 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. I have so much more energy. I feel at least 20 years younger. I can run up the stairs now where it was a little bit hard for me. My knees would always hurt. I had shoulder pain. I've had elbow pain. I think it's all pretty much from the weight that I had on my body, on my frame. It feels amazing that Awaken 180 offers free maintenance for life. The fact that I have free coaching when the weight loss process is over is absolutely amazing to me.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Less joint pain, more energy,
Reducing medications, the benefits of losing weight with Awaken 180 are endless. The ability to maintain that weight loss, priceless. Free support for life. Online at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Walls. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beard's has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses in fine print. Beard's has all the top designers, including Tacori and Viraggio. Beard's doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beard's Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beard's in the St. John's Town Center.
Hey, gang, I couldn't be any happier than to be part of the George Moore Chevrolet family. And when I say family, that's what I mean. That's how they treat you when you visit that beautiful showroom off of Atlantic Boulevard. You'll find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help, just smiles, just having a good time. And whether you want a car, a truck, an SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet's got it. You know me, I got my boy Blue, that beautiful blue Silverado. I couldn't be any happier. If you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, that's okay. MoreChevy.com. MoreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you can try. All the vehicles, you'll see them right there. Sales, service, parts. Never been more easy to use. See what I did there? George Moore Chevrolet, gang, together. Let's drive.
Cannonball! Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
The Beach Boys. Endless Summer Gold. This Saturday night at St. Augustine Amphitheater.
Serving you.
Tickets on sale now at AXS.com.
Hicken here for About 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of About 9. Visit About 9 Associates today and experience the difference. About 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Need a fast casual option that's healthy, fresh, and delicious? Choose the Great Greek Mediterranean Grill. Gyros, salads, hummus, and more made completely fresh right as you order. Off 210 and St. John's Parkway. The Great Greek Mediterranean Grill.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by
Advanced Business Solutions.
your local authorized Xerox dealer on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hit it.
All right, we are back here. Monday morning quarterback edition of The Drill. Thanks for being up and at 'em with us. As always, the weekend is when it goes down. And across the sports world, we're seeing that. Here locally, the River Run, I did get out and do it. Boy, it was a pounding. It was fun, though. I will say this. I wished I loved running. If you loved running, that River Run's something else. Between the bands, you can always. By the way, you can tell by mile 3. That's when they start giving shots. It's amazing how many people go on the 9.3 and just get drunk. I plotted my way to completion 2:01 with a rogue bib. Shh, don't tell anyone. Rogue bib alert. Shh. an RBA. Fantastic morning, though. The weather was perfect. Everything shined just perfectly on that. Let me tell you who's shining. My guy in there, his basketball team suddenly is shining pretty. Did I see it? Are the Lakers up to the 2 seed in the West?
As of right now, currently holding the number 2 seed thanks to a Denver Nuggets loss to the Celtics last night.
I don't know if Denver or LA playoffs. I probably still lean Denver. If it's me, Oklahoma City is, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. It's the lingering cold that I had for the last couple of weeks. Anywho, I trust Denver more in the postseason than I do the Lakers, but certainly the addition of Luka, we're going to find out in the postseason what it all means, but he had another 29 last night. I said this to RJ earlier, man. I can't remember anyone. Maybe we all have that buddy. Like, shout out to my man Daniel Murphy. He can come in 1 week and then come in the next and look 15 pounds heavier and then come in the next and look 20 pounds lighter. Every time I see Daniel Murphy, he looks like he's 5 or 10 pounds different one way or the other from the last time I saw him. And I know Murphy's chuckling right now as he hears that. It's true. That's Luka to me. RJ, I'll see Luka one night and he'll look slim, and then I'll see him 2 nights later and he'll look pudgy, and then I'll see him a week later and it'll look like he's trim. And then it's the most bizarre thing. And by the way, no body shaming here. I'm of the opinion that Luka can play whatever damn size he wants to. He's one of the best players in the league, and the Lakers are certainly using him to their advantage. I think they're 6-2 now in games he started. They've won 6 in a row overall, 8 of their last 10. And as mentioned, they have passed the Denver into the 2 seed, which, look, if you're the 2 or you're the 3, all it means. And by the way, Memphis is just barely behind him, and so is Houston. So a lot can happen between 2 and 5. But the only difference, say it's the Lakers and Denver, the only difference between 2 and 3 is who would be hosting who in the semis. If it plays out, right?
Right.
Now, you would also, get the advantage of whoever you lose. I will say this, if it stays like it does and the play-in goes like the current standings are, Golden State and the Lakers would play. Huh? Steph, LeBron, round 1.
Oh, sign me up.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, sign you up.
Well,
when's your NBA show anyway? Don't you do an NBA show once a week? Is it Sundays?
Yeah, it's Sundays at 11.
Okay, Sunday morning?
Sunday morning.
And you just around the league, the dribble just all around the league?
We talk around the league. Mainly, we're going to talk the Orlando Magic with our friends down there in Orlando. But we go around the league. Well, we had Bob Rathbun on.
Okay. My Hawks guy. You've got him on for me before.
Yeah.
What is does it feel like the Magic are, at least in that segmented, that's a segmented audience. You're getting NBA fans, especially listening to you. Is the Magic the favorite team of your listenership, do you feel like?
I feel like it is. However, it does seem like we do have a broad audience. We have a couple Celtics fans here. We have Hawks fans here. Surprisingly, a couple Laker fans here.
Yeah, so. No, I would think you would have really all of those, and that's kind of how I've always felt about Jacksonville. Back in the day, Jacksonville, like when I first came here, it was Gators, Knowles, and Dogs. I mean, that was sports. The favorite NFL team was the Dolphins. It wasn't even close. I mean, not even. It's like a million miles to one. It was the Dolphins. All that changed, obviously with the Jaguars. As for the other team, always been a Braves town, still is. Although there are more and more. We've had a million transplants, almost literally. I came to Jacksonville in 1991. Sports landscape's certainly changed. My first Players Championship, I think the winner got $240,000. Think about that. $25 million last year to the winner.
Now, I do have a sports concept and rationalization in the words of
okay, what do you
Dan
got?
Hicken.
Yeah, here we go. What do we got?
Did LeBron James have a point saying that I can see why one Anthony Edwards wouldn't want to be the face of the league because, quote, why would you want to be the face of the league when we have people who crap on our game?
No, he's totally wrong. I don't know what he's talking about. That's ridiculous. Stop it. LeBron James has been a lot of things in his career. Crapped on ain't one of them. You really got to look hard for the negative to not feel the positive of what LeBron is. Listen, this is what celebrities lose sight of and athletes. Life ain't fair, man. We all get jacked around. We all have bad days. People treat us unfairly, just as they do you. The difference is we don't go home to our Malibu mansion and our $40 million salary.
Now, did you also hear LeBron James?
NBA's not, but I heard what he said, and he's wrong. What? Because there's a little, Here's the reason that that's happening, by the way, and it can be easily stopped by today's suddenly in their feelings generation. Stop going on social media, and you won't hear any of this. But y'all spend so much time on social media. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Look how great I am. Look how different we are. Look at this, that, look at that one. That the old guard, they're beyond sick of hearing about it. Shut up. And then maybe you won't get crapped on. You get crapped on, LeBron? Listen, buddy, do I need to add up your endorsements?
Wait, well, he said he never asked to be the face of the league, Jeff.
What does that have to do with anything? What does that mean then? Then why are you being asked? Are you arguing you're the face of the league? The value of the face of the league? There's a value in the face of the league. Of course there is. It's ridiculous. So, by the way, I don't think it'll be Anthony Edwards. I don't think that'll be the next face of the league. We had this conversation the other day, and you feel free to use this on your NBA exclusive show, but we identified the future face of the league.
Wemby?
It's Wemby.
Yeah.
It's not even close. That's who it will be. It will be Wemby. Unless he, injures his way out of that. It's going to be all eyes on that big, unbelievably ultra-skilled big man. And if it don't work in San Antonio quick enough, they'll get him on off to Boston or L.A. or wherever it is they need to get him. Ultimately, we'll probably be watching Wemby and Luka win championships for the Lakers.
The fix is in.
So anyway, that's where I'd go with that. I disagree with LeBron's comments. These guys are treated more than fairly. And when it comes to like getting crapped on, he can only be talking about Chuck and Shaq and those guys, right? Who's he
Stephen
talking
A. Skip Bayless.
Yeah, okay, that's the game, LeBron. They do the same thing to great football players. It's not you getting crapped on. They don't crap on NBA, facing the NBA any more than they do. Did you not watch Tom Brady go through Deflategate and phone this and that and the other? They come at you when you're on top. And by the way, LeBron has done a good job of staying way above the fray. This isn't a criticism of LeBron how he's handled himself. It's a disagreement with his perspective, which, by the way, is his perspective. I'm sure, we don't know and see everything, but that goes for, a lot of people, right? A lot of people got to deal with that kind of stuff.
Now, going to the NFL, Jeff, San Francisco, after trading Deebo Samuel in exchange for a fifth-round pick to the Commanders, according to reports, San Francisco is open to trading wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, although Ian Rappaport has indicated trading Ayuk would be more challenging than dealing Deebo Samuel, but it could still happen. If you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, are you knocking on the door?
Nah, there's enough out there. I'm not going for – if I'm going to – listen, just from the seeds of conversations that we've had this morning, if there is just a world-beating defensive tackle that you're okay with making one of the top paid defensive tackles in the league who's 25, 26 years old and you can count on playing the position, but you better be intangible rich. He better be ready to take that next step. He better be ready to live with that money, to want to earn it each and every time he takes the field. But, man, if you could get that home wrecker at defensive tackle, and now suddenly with the 5 pick, you could take Tet McMillan, a receiver, if you want. You could trade down and take a safety. You could take the offensive lineman if you've deemed him an upgrade. So, I don't want Ayuk, man. He's too. I just look. Ultimately, I'm sure our guy's going to develop a little bit of a drama. That's what these receivers do. It's who they are. There's a lot of diva in them, and the more secure in their own skin. We didn't hear anything from Brandon Ayuk his first 2 or 3 years, right? Wait till when you're at that position, when you become elite, you make sure everybody knows it all the time, it feels like. I got an elite guy. I don't need Ayuk. I don't need him thinking he's the number one guy here. Now suddenly he was injured last year and distracted. I'm either going to go with my own guys or find a different veteran if it's me.
In the NFL Combine, Tet McMillan seems to be the first wide receiver that may be taken off of the board in this year's draft. However, he did not run the 40 at the Combine. Many feel like this is a red flag. Many have had questions about his speed and how fast he can be at the next level. Do you view it as a red flag, Jeff, that Tet McMillan, who could be the first receiver taken off the board, did not give a 40 time?
I'd rather him run than not. I'd rather the quarterbacks throw than not. I'd rather the defensive linemen work out than not. But the fact is, these guys all do their on-campus personal workouts now, and so those numbers come eventually. I mean, you can't hide from them forever. This very few off seasons pass without a Although, did Marvin Harrison Jr. never run last year? Was that part of the storyline with Marvin Harrison Jr.? He never even ran a 40 in the... Seems like we had a guy... Seems like we... fire up your Google machine for me, RJ. It seems like we had a guy in the last few years who... One of those prospects at like receiver or corner or one of those. And not necessarily with an injury that he could fall back on for not doing it. Feels like a guy didn't run, which is a little different to me than...
Yeah, Harrison Jr. skipped the entire NFL combine.
Now, what about after that, though? Did he run at his pro day? I'm saying somebody who never runs a 40 before the draft. I know there's a lot of them that skip the running at the combine, but usually it's because you can see them at their pro day. And for like Ted McMillan, that would apply at Arizona. But I feel like one of these guys recently just said, bump it. I'm not running any of them. Maybe it wasn't Harrison last year. Maybe it hasn't happened. Maybe it was just discussed. Anywho, that's the 10-minute drill. How about that? There's some headlines from you from the weekend. RJ's got a prize pack, so we will dole that out for you. Just be right now 641-1010. Call the number. Good luck. Fred Taylor coming up in less than an hour now. We'll go Monday morning running back. When we come back on the other side, I got a Gator growl, and it's not about Gator basketball. It is, I would tip of the cap agreement with Paul Feinbaum on something that I saw that he said over the weekend. All that and more when we return. It's the Monday Morning Quarterback, live from the DivorcemenOnly.com studios.
For the 10-minute drill, you could win a pair of VIP tickets to the Celtic Music and Heritage Festival on March 8th and 9th at downtown St. Augustine. 641-1010, and we'll hook you up.
This one coming. Radio play-by-play is like stepping in a theater in your mind.
As good as it gets.
1010XL, Jacksonville's home for play-by-play.
Hey, this is Coach Jason Gibson of your Jacksonville Sharks. I know the importance of a strong game plan, and that's exactly what I've got with Clay Solar Installation Partners. They did the install of the solar panels at my house, and I couldn't be happier. Lower energy bills, clean power, and a winning team that made the whole process easy. If you're looking to save money and go solar, trust the pros at Clay Solar. Call Karen at Clay Solar today and tell them that Coach Gibson sent you.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Boots, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today.
The Drill at the DivorcemenOnly.com studios.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
1010XL is the home of Gator Nation and the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. I'm Hacker, and we keep you connected with the University of Florida all year long. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy, you look worried.
Worried? I'm apoplectic!
You're what now?
I'm freaking out, Jason. Stupid water heater crapped out, so I haven't showered since Thursday. I start smelling a little funky, blow my big corporate job interview tomorrow, I'll end up settling for some dead-end career selling spatulas on the internet.
Dude, stay cool.
There's nothing cool about a cold shower, Jason. I mean, I know how that sounds, but
Bueller Air and Plumbing can get a new water heater installed today. The day you call. You could be smelling fresh again by dinner time.
Wait, you can do that?
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Is that cooler?
Oh, yeah.
Well, life moves pretty fast. If you spend much more time smelling like this, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Mia O'Brien here for Pro Jax Roofing. Here at the Superstation, we talk a lot about pros. Pro football, pro baseball, pro basketball, pro sports. But if you want a true pro when it comes to your roof, you should call Mike with Pro Jax Roofing. Mike's been in the roofing biz for well over 25 years, and when you call, you don't get a recording, you get Mike himself. Find Mike's cell on ProJaxRoofingFL.com. That's ProJaxRoofingFL.com. Don't rely on the third string option. Call in the starter with Mike at Pro Jax Roofing.
If you're heading to the Og or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Oh, when they're out there, you let us know, and we let you know. And together, Googa Nation, we avoid those speed traps. Drill Speed Trap Alert, brought to you by Catlin Truck Accessories. Listen, I've seen them out here. It's in the express lane on 295, the Beltway there east, around Bay Meadows. And if you know, you know, going down those directions. So if you're out and about this morning, make sure you keep those speeds down. Keep that cash in your pocket. RJ, if I ask you who the University of Miami's all-time leading receiver is, would you know the answer? There's been a lot of great ones come out of the U.
All-time leading receiver.
Yeah, the all-time leader at Miami. And by the way, just in case, this guy's the all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. Which of those great Miami receivers, back through the years, I mean, I could go to Michael Irvin and Andre Johnson and just down the line. There's been a lot of top flight talent. I can remember our guy, even Alan Hearns, put up big numbers down there in Miami. But yeah, can you tell me who the all-time leading receiver in Miami Hurricanes history is?
Why do I feel like this is going to be like a random name? Wasn't it, didn't Restrepo do something this year?
You know what? Kudos to you. Xavier Restrepo, right, coming out of Miami. He didn't run at the combine. He's got wear and tear. Didn't think it'd be a good time. So, again, these guys don't all out avoid running these 40s. They, you can only run away from them so long. If you expect to be drafted and you want your chances to be accentuated, you're going to have to go out there and you have to show people how fast you are. Although I've never understood why would you even go to the combine? Go find each one of these receivers on a fly pattern when they get to max speed at some time during the year. They all can do it. There's analytics on all of them, and then see how fast he runs. How hard is it? But, you put them in underwear and tell them to run in a straight line. Okay, that hundredth of a second really going to matter? Maybe. But listen, this guy's got the credentials of production. This is I don't know where Restrepo gets slotted. But, man, he feels like one of those third, fourth rounders, doesn't he, who could, he reminds me of, he reminds me kind of he's got a little bit of Ricky Pearsall in him for the Gators and San Francisco. So I don't know about the size and the speed. I don't know about all those comparisons. I'm probably doing a little, profiling there when I put those two cats in the same category. Why don't I throw Ladd McConkey in while I'm at it? But Restrepo is an interesting prospect depending on where he'd fall. But, yeah, sometimes you got to remind yourself of, some changes. And one of those is he'll leave Miami. All-time leader in catches, yards, and receiving touchdowns. You go, Restrepo. All right, it's time for listen, I got plenty of basketball talk that could formulate this, but it's time right now for a football fix. I'm sorry, for a Gator growl.
Now, slow your roll. It's time for Jeff's Gator Growl. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
All right, Paul Feinbaum's not afraid to get knee-deep in some SEC football talk in particular. But and along the way, by the way, just about everyone is going to come in his sights. I know he has been pretty vocal about Georgia missing the boat, not making a change at offense coordinator with Mike Bobo and some stagnation that's coming here. But if he looks, I found this interesting, and I think it's fair. And Dan and I would have a nice, healthy disagreement probably this morning. Hick's on jury duty, by the way. I would agree with Feinbaum. I don't know if I would be as harsh in the assessment, and I'm not saying that his will be particular harsh. I'm going to give it to you here in just a second. But I know Hicken doesn't find fault in the offense and the production, and at least enough to make, quote, a change at coordinator. But Billy Napier is going to continue to call the ball plays. And it is just it is a chore, it's an obligation, it's a task that most of the successful ones have given up at this stage. The game has become so much about management, hadn't it? Look at these staffs and these rosters, and to add, Billy Napier's strength is not as on-the-fly decision-making. We've all screamed at the television. You don't quite as much when you're winning anyway, but there have been some very visible throw-ups. And so I don't need, you're the head coach, it's all going through you anyway. I don't need half the game you grinding play to play and not up to date on this guy's specific injury situation or this down and distance scenario, right? That's I feel more and more strongly about this with every passing day. Teams are going through spring workouts. Some coaches have already announced their plans for the upcoming season. One such is Billy Napier, who has stated he will continue to call offensive plays next year. In an interview, Nape said, "It's what got me here. It's how I became the head coach." He believes maintaining offensive continuity is essential for DJ Lagway. There are some arguments there. Feinbaum disagreed. And I bring this up not to give you Feinbaum's opinion as that one, but I find it's one that I agree with. And this is a hot topic among Gator Nation water cooler talk. We always got to have some hot topic, and the hot topic is now, even with some success that came last year, is Napier and the play calling. It's not that it's super unproductive. It's not that it hasn't had its moments. It's not that the offense has been the problem more than the defense. No, it's about leveling up. Feinbaum said one thing I really don't like, and I don't like any head coach calling the plays anymore. I think the game is so complicated. There's so many other things going on that you're always going to be involved. You're the head coach, so no play is going to go on without you knowing about it or being the architect. I think it's a poor decision on his part to hang on to that. Here. Let me give you a good example. You know who all this conversation was around a couple of years ago? You know who for the last 3 or 4 years, and by the way, this hasn't been a Billy Napier sloppy sub 500 no bowl team. This team has been a contender. They had a head coach who wanted to continue to call the plays. You know who that team and that coach was? That team was Ohio State, and that coach was Ryan Day, who handed over play calling responsibilities. And quick check, my Google's not working. Who won the national title in football this year? Ohio State. Now, is there like direct correlation? Ryan Day gave up those extra duties to someone he could trust, and they won the Natty? I no, maybe not direct, but okay. Listen, for those that are okay with the offense, and again, you got to find your spots, and I'm going to take this time right now in the Gator Growl to remind everyone we are not right now witnessing a Billy Napier story. That's not what we're involved in for these calls. Right now, we're writing a DJ Lagway story. All the success in Florida is about DJ Lagway. It can become a Billy Napier story as he builds around Lagway, has success, replaces him, and continues. Unless and until you get then, you're just going to ride this dude's coattails just as Gene Chizik did with Cam Newton for a few years. Because here's the bottom line. Florida's offense last year was number 12 in the SEC. Y'all, we good? 12. There's 16 teams. So I don't know how in any way that's viewed as a strength. Number 12 in the SEC, number 66 nationally. 12 make the playoffs. I know you can't be top, 3 in any and everything. Don't get me wrong. And sure, I know you can probably go find me a title where, the defense was so good and the offense was just okay. Well, that's, not exactly the case either. Well, we threw a parade and we're about ready to raise a banner because we actually beat Ole Miss and LSU back-to-back in Gainesville. I'll remind everyone. So, 386 yards a game. They got better down the stretch, obviously, but that was because guess who was playing quarterback? End of the season saved Billy Napier's job. I think he would be smart to continue to grow along with that and have the confidence in yourself to align with somebody with a similar mindset and chemistry that you can turn over that, and you've always got the challenge, man. You can always, put up a blockade. Nope, not running that there. Run this. Just a thought. Again, Gator offense 12 in the SEC. We're not exactly knocking on the door of the statistical leaders. We are live inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios, back with more. It's halftime here on The Drill. We got Fred Taylor pretty quickly out of the gates here in the 8 o'clock hour, so we'll talk Monday morning running back with him. More on the Jags and where they stand here now in this offseason. I think we got a pretty direct now shift in focus for a week. College. Whoop, light down. We got free agency beginning in 1 week. Lots of roster news and NFL news that we're going to kick around here in these last couple of hours as well. Thanks for being up and at 'em with us. We're back with more next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Making spring a Jacksonville thing.
What a week.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates.
Enhanced by
Dermagnify, medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology, San Jose Collision, and Doorbell Farms produce delivery.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Beard's Diamonds. I love local and I love Jacksonville, and so does Beard's Diamonds. In a world where chains seem to take over, awesome to have a locally owned retailer who's only focused on Jacksonville. Beard's Diamonds are those guys. I love the Lupos. All those jewelers in the town center, they're owned by big Wall Street companies, but Beard's Diamond, local. They've been serving our area for more than 40 years. They have massive diamond inventory. They have all shapes and sizes.
They have all the top bridle bands. They have the strongest warranties. In fact, Beards guarantees to beat any national chain store on price. So don't buy anywhere until you get a second opinion at Beards. Don't buy a diamond in Jacksonville without seeing your best option at Beards Diamonds. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's exclusive 31-day spring event. Experience superior craftsmanship and timeless design with buy one, get one 40% off custom replacement windows and patio doors. Enjoy the ease of zero down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires March 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beatrice here, second generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beatrice Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do and plumbing is what we're great at. Beatrice Plumbing, here to help.
Fred Taylor is now in 1010XL's backfield.
Fred Taylor with 2 touchdowns.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
The First Tee Tour Card is back for 2025 and better than ever, with access to over 15 of North Florida's best courses and new this year, local participating businesses. This card is your ticket to saving hundreds. First Tee North Florida is a local nonprofit who build character in youth participants through the game of golf. This annual fundraiser enables this amazing organization the ability to build game changers. Grab your tour card for just $99 at tourcard.org. For a list of participating partners, benefits, and restrictions.
As of 9 a.m. this morning, our EV trucking company is officially in operation.
Andrew's zero-emission trucks are driving the transportation category forward.
We'll make driving safer, easier, and less stressful. Now our technology needs to keep up with demand.
He needs to put pedal to the metal on hiring more software engineers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Staying Alive, one night of the Bee Gees comes to Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts March 6th. A tribute like you've never seen before. Staying Alive features the songs and sights of a full Bee Gees playlist, performed live. Experience Night Fever, More Than a Woman, How Deep Is Your Love, and more live on stage. Staying Alive, one night of the Bee Gees, March 6th at Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets at fscjartistseries.org.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers, floral, or plant arrangement. This is Max Fink with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at kuhnflowers.com.
I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL, presented by First Coast YMCA. The NFL Combine is officially in the rear view, and Jags GM James Gladstone has hit the ground running in his new role after being hired just 2 weeks ago. He and the Jags' new look leadership met with several players over the weekend, including Michigan defensive lineman Mason Graham. Here's Gladstone on the Jags' arm length on the D-line via 1010XL Jaguars YouTube.
Yeah, I think you can go ahead and take a peek at our last handful of drafts, and you can answer that question for yourself.
The Jags have drawn out their big boards as they now shift focus to the NFL Draft, which is just under 2 months away. Jacksonville holds 10 picks entering the draft, starting at number 5 in the first round. I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. It's 51 degrees at 8 o'clock. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we're back doing our Monday morning quarterbacking. What's that comment I just heard there in the break from James Gladstone? They were asking, part of the Mason Graham analysis from the combine were his measurements, right? He was under 300 pounds after being listed playing at 320, and then the arm length came up, I guess, like in the 12th percentile, like way bottom percentile in defensive tackles when it comes to that measurable in the last 25 years. So James Gladstone apparently was asked about the arm length. Is that correct? Do you have that? Did you play that from here, or did she put that together? Do you have that James Gladstone right there? Or no, that's her stuff. You do? Let me hear that again.
Yeah, I think you can go ahead and take a peek at our last handful of drafts, and you can answer that question for yourself.
Okay. So he's asking me to take a peek. I'm assuming this is in regard to Mason Graham and his 32. Now they've got it up to 32-inch arm. So okay. There's just been a lot of talk now because you got to make a decision, and there's a lot of chatter around Graham, where he measured, how much he weighed, what his arm length was. But I did go back, and I said, as far as what Gladstone said, that's actually a pretty clear answer. It's a pretty transparent answer because you can go back and look, and you'll find out how important. Well, Braden Fisk, same arm length. Jared Verse had 33-inch arms, 1 inch longer. So I guess his point, well, if you think arm length is the be-all, end-all, look at our guys we took last year. And by the way, I don't know what Turner and Young are. Brian Young and Kobe Turner. What were there? You know what? I'll take it the next step. I'm not scared. Yeah, I'm not scared. I'll take the next step then. What were, let's see. Let's go Brian Young. Those are the interior guys the year before. Is that the one? Yeah, they're giving me probably. I don't have any further. Point being, if he's saying reference, okay, I'll look at last year, and yeah, the arm length wouldn't seem to matter much there, right? And that seems kind of obvious at this point.
Does seem like he wants to get a lot of plug and play guys, though. I don't know how much into development he's into. I don't know that. I don't know his history that far and away, but it does seem to me that he tries to get a lot of guys that can come in and produce right now.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. The one thing they've been incredibly successful in L.A. these last few years are guys that have done just that. I mean, Puka Nacua was the offensive rookie of the year 2 years ago. Jared Verse is the defensive rookie of the year this year. And that's instant impact. And each of those guys were joined in draft classes by 2 or 3 other guys who were all rookie. So the last few years, they've certainly managed to do that. And they've done it, outside of those hits just from the last couple of years. This has been a work in progress. They've been picking guys up in the draft without premium draft picks enough to, immediately rebound. Again, great day to be a fly on the wall inside the Jaguars from this standpoint. What our, perceived holes and needs are going to be a little different from what theirs are. If we were asked to put a 50 to 100 numerical grade on every single player on the roster, knowing what we know, it's not going to match up most likely, but certainly not precisely to what the Jaguars, with everything they have and they know. Any prospect that you feel like you may like, they may have had such a bad interview, they'd never take him. There may be something about this guy or that guy. There may be something about the salary cap. There's 1,000 different things. I don't know that they're less committed to getting an offensive lineman like Will Campbell than they would be getting a defensive lineman like Mason Graham. I don't know. They might be just laying in the weeds, hoping like heck they can get the offensive lineman they want, not the defensive tackle as we suggest. Who knows? I will say this, as bad as the defense was, it had to be at least somewhat the coaching and the scheme and guys getting down to trodden, quitting, the whole thing. It was just an ugly look the whole way. Getting some better coaching in. How that guy Ryan Nielsen, produced a top 10 defense in Atlanta is beyond me because they just seem to be running helter-skelter all over the field. Playing guys out of position. Between Devon Hamilton and Mason Smith, although we got needs on the D-line. If you're going to play Eric Armstead inside and never outside, we got no edge rushers. We talked about this last week. I don't need to beat that one up again. But my point is, I'll say what I said earlier. They're screaming at us what the priorities are. Where it's just, are we willing to listen? Or do we want those shiny objects? Travis Hunter, Tat McMillan, T. Higgins in free agency.
Ashton Genty.
Yeah, they're screaming at us what they think's important. They're screaming, dude, we got to get better in the trenches, period, end of story. We're never going to be any good. So if you want to hit hard in those positions right out the gates, man, and use 4 of those first 5 picks on interior offensive and defensive linemen because you're going to keep Christian Kirk, you're going to continue, and you're going to keep Ingram. Look, let me ask you this. If you go into next year with a better than average offensive line, and all things else are the same. Kirk, Thomas, Parker Washington, Gabe Davis, Ingram, Strange, Etienne, Bigsby. Now you're going to add, some of those guys with some middle round. But if you rebuild, if you commit to the offensive line and it's better, can you win with that assortment of talent?
I feel like health really comes into play at that point.
Oh, that's fair. That is by.
It's just because all of them have had their fair share of injuries.
For sure. No, you don't have to explain why. That makes a ton of sense. Yeah, the health of those guys because you're talking about many of them just coming off of injury this past year. I really worry about Etienne. His production's just going dunk, dunk, down, and
I was going to ask you, Jeff, would you consider bringing in a running back from the draft? Would you draft a running back? Not high,
I think
but
they'll
would
draft
you draft one?
I think they'll draft a running back. I think they'll draft a receiver. I think they'll draft a tight end. I don't know if I don't think premium spots will go to that. Again, if they are just completely in love with Tat McMillan and they look at, but that flies in the face of what they have identified as the top priority, and that is they got to get the offensive line right. When you come into town as a new head coach, and that's part of your opening presser, that's part of your first message to the media and fans, that does not indicate a unit that's going to be kept anywhere near in place. And so some good hard judgment down there might lead to, wholesale changes on that offensive line. And if there are going to be wholesale changes on that offensive line, it'd probably be silly to not consider Will Campbell at number 5 or a trade down where you can get him or another big-bodied guy.
You keep talking about trading down. I do have to give it to you, Jeff, because it seems like James Gladstone has been on the same wavelength as you, at least when it comes to saying, listen, we have many draft picks over the next 2 years, and his idea is that he wants more draft picks than just the allotted draft picks that the Jags have over the next 2 years. So moving back, I don't know. It could be a possibility depending on what they think at 5, if they could get the same guy at 7, 8, or 9. It really depends, but it does seem like they want more draft picks at their disposal.
Well, look, every year it's real easy for us to talk about trading either, trading up or trading back and doing this and doing that, right? That and actually finding the right partner, finding the right need, matching up at the right time. That's a different thing. With the combine in the books, where the columns are coming out, kind of reassessing the state of certain franchises, things that, look, a lot to be learned about our Jaguars when it comes to the national media being in Indy, right? This was we lifted the curtain on this, this whole new army of front office personnel. Our threesome there at the top is all brand spanking new. So there's a little bit of get to know you when it comes to that. If you're writing a column, one thing we learned about every AFC team in Indianapolis, as I am on CBS Sports, seems like it'd be hard to narrow that to one thing when it comes to the Jaguars. I want to remind you guys of some things, though, here that I'm like, that we can't forget. Look, all of the attention was on Liam Cohen, him getting the job and all the initial reaction. And then it was like on Baselli getting that job as the EVP. And then it was on Gladstone. And so we've spent a lot more time recently on Gladstone and his mentality, his mindset, his strategy, on Tony, his role. But let's go back to where it was. And it has been stated by this is Liam Cohen's football team. That was, they were sure to stress it. This is going to be the coach-identified team. We're not going to put it out there with 2 or 3 different things. Ultimate say, ultimate responsibility.
He chooses the GM.
Going to fall, correct, going to fall on Liam Cohen. That is the answer for the nation. That is what you need to learn about Jacksonville. That probably won't be it. I don't know if that has been as acknowledged maybe as it should be. And by the way, as I'm going down these lines and we're just swipe, we're swiping, keeping your attention for about 8-second bursts. I've come across a team that I want to remind everyone the perils of free agency. But last year, buddy, when the Houston Texans went out and got Danielle Hunter, and they went out and got Joe Mixon, and they went out and got Stephon Diggs. And by the way, those guys were good. But in getting those guys, you sacrifice in other areas, obviously. But at the end of the day, with all their movement in free agency, the Texans weren't any better in 2024 than they were in 2023. And they spent a whole lot more money to get there. And by the way, the great year you had with Joe Mixon, look me up at the end of 2025. Let me know. You got the best out of Joe Mixon that you're going to get. And they won a playoff game and they went to Kansas City. It wasn't a down year, but all that money they spent to didn't get much ROI at all. So anyway, continuing to move down. One thing we learned about every AFC team at the combine, they say. Now I got a locked up computer here. This is where I'm, expert on the fly. Omaha. I'm calling it audible. All right, here we go. Jaguars. Yada yada. Hold on. Got to get by Indy. This is what they write. We had learned this already, and this is fair because what we learn, what the big important takeaway from the offseason overall here, really, if and when it gets there, is that it's Liam Cohen's team. It's going to be a coach-first team. It's going to be a coach-identified team. They've said all that. So while Gladstone and these guys are front and center now, that's not how the organization is going to operate.
Well, I wanted to ask you this. With a first-time head coach with not very much experience in the NFL, would you, if you would have been in that seat, said, you have all the power, we live and die by you?
Well, yeah, because the other guys are also the same boat. At the end of the day, the guy making the impact decisions, 50 or 60 of them every Sunday is Liam Cohen. At the end of the day, the first layer of accountability always hits the coach before it gets to GM or EVP or owner. It always hits the coach first. So I don't think that, we had this conversation before, Tony will be the tiebreaker. I don't think we're going to have any ties, man. And I don't think that's naivete. I think they'll get to a point that they're never going to go to Tony and say, I want this, he wants that, decide. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to be enough in alignment and on the page that when there are, each will defer at times when they have to. Here's what they write, though, about what the nation, learned about the Jaguars at the Combine. James Gladstone doesn't believe this is a talent-deficient roster. I like hearing that. We've heard that. We've said that, too. They write, the new Jaguars decision-makers are still learning each other's names, but GM James Gladstone believes the Jags were better than a 4-win team last year. The talent that exists on this team is better than that record. Still, there's work to be done. And a word Gladstone loves to use when it comes to roster construction is intangibles. They nailed that. We're going to elevate the floor of the roster immediately, Gladstone said. We look forward to injecting this ecosystem with some intangible elements that Liam and I both covet. That's rooted in things like mental and physical toughness, elevating the floor of the roster, and at the same time leaning into guys that we have and knowing that we can put them in good spots to really showcase their capacity and their attributes. Can I get a heck yeah? I'm down, man. I'm down. All right. Come back with Freddie T. We'll hook up with our Monday morning running back Fred Taylor next on The Drill.
I was born a Jags fan, and I'm Duval till I die.
1010XL, where Jaguars fans roar.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging in the mirror, fine lines, sun damage, redness? They don't have to be part of your future. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, and I can help you look and feel your best without invasive surgery or painful treatments. Imagine rejuvenating your skin in a relaxing, comfortable environment with minimal to no downtime. Smooth out fine lines, even skin tone, and restore that youthful glow. Find out how to look and feel your best at Dermagnify.com. Dermagnify.com.
Florida homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Universal Roof and Contract protects your home and your wallet. Invest in a stronger roof and save big. Spend $6,000 and get up to $600 off. $15,000 up to $2,000 off. $20,000 up to $3,000 off. This deal ends March 31st. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Your hole-in-one for men's health is Ackerman Urology. With offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, World Golf Village, and the beaches, Ackerman will get you on par for any prostate conditions and sexual vitality. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
The rumors and trades.
That is the game within the game.
The decisions and deadlines.
Our work is not done now.
The off-season overflows with surprising storylines.
I'm all ears.
Let AA Automotive and 1010XL guide you through the off-season.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. And I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town. Setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
I'm Carl. I'm 68 years old, and I lost 40 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. And looking at pictures, I realized that my color wasn't good. I looked bloated, constantly tired, out of breath. It got to the point where I decided it was time to pick up the phone and call Awaken 180. The combination of the diet and the coaching really pushed me over the top. My self-confidence soared. I'm walking. I'm working out. Instead of 68, I feel like I'm 28. I just had my annual physical and my doctor looked at my blood pressure and he said, "What did you do? What happened?" And I explained that I'm on the Awaken 180 program. I've never felt so good in my life. And as somebody that sometimes likes to take the shortcut, I didn't have to do that with this program. Awaken 180 is my solution for weight loss.
Carl's solution for weight loss, my solution for weight loss. Matt Hayes here. Lower blood pressure, increased confidence, feeling years younger. Want the same results? Then do what we did and make your own at Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Why? Experience, expertise, knowledge. That's Reed Wingate. That's Janice Cobb. That's Scott Regner. That's Dan Abel. That's Reagan Wright, Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan. Those are the ITP Partners, man. You know what they do? They sit down with you individually, listen to you, and then they give you tell them what you want. They give you your strategy to get your goals met. And it's really easy to get in the game with ITB Partners. They're always there to help. For more info, simple. Chris at ITBPartners.com. Chris at ITBPartners.com or call 312-9751. 312-9751. They're ITB Partners, gang. And they're my financial partners for life. Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we are trying to chase down Fred Taylor. Brock Marion couldn't catch him. I don't know how much luck we'll have. He's actually traveling, so we shall see. If we got to push it back to tomorrow, we can. Thankfully, on a Monday, we're always locked and loaded. Let me hit some of those don't you forget about me, baby. Hockey, soccer, NASCAR. I saw that Ovechkin had another goal over the weekend, so he's one closer to Wayne Gretzky's record. I mean, if you're like me, you never thought any of Gretzky's records would be broken, and the goals record will be by Ovechkin, either the tail end of this year or sometime next year. Now, I will remind you that you could take away all of Gretzky's goals, and he would still be the NHL's all-time scoring leader. So that's all the assists that he had as a player as well. But the goals record's going to go down, and Ovechkin has been playing for a long time at a very high level and looked, a couple of years ago like there's no way he would be in this position. However, he is. I use this term affectionately. We had another nobody win on the PGA Tour this weekend. I'm all for nobody. I mean, I don't know what has happened to me, but these last couple of PGA Tour events, it didn't matter that they were unfamiliar names. It didn't matter that they were unaccomplished. The storylines overpowered it enough that I can get down with Joe Highsmith at the Cognizant Classic. Who is Joe Highsmith, you ask? You and everybody else. Highsmith had the lowest weekend score in PGA national history. He made the cut on the number on Friday. He had to make a 5-foot par putt to even play the weekend. Highsmith then had the lowest weekend score in PGA national history, a pair of 664s. He wins the Cognizant Classic, the first player in 9 years to go from making the cut on the number to winning the trophy. Winning was the last thing on my mind, Highsmith said. He's just a little lanky little left-hander with some big gardener's hat on. Looks like you just, playing out of Jack's Beach this weekend. Had a 4-shot deficit going into the final round. I got some help from the leaders who had some real hiccups. Jake Knapp, don't forget, had a 59 in round one. Boy, we don't give the credit and love for those 59s like we used to either now. Now there's been so many. They come at you all the time. In fact, Jim Furyk has 58. But forever, it was Al Geiberger shot 59 on PGA Tour back in the 70s, and no one else did forever. Then next, who was it, man? You got to really be good at church. Chip Beck maybe was next. But it's grown now. 16, 17 guys have shot 59. Jake Knapp did it this week, but it's not about Jake Knapp. No. It's about Highsmith. A 24-year-old, bucket hat, big smile. It all started with that putt. Again, the first guy to make the cut on the number and win since Brandt Snedeker did it at Torrey Pines in 2016. And while everyone faltered down the stretch, this dude just got it done. He's the second first-time winner in as many weeks. It was Brian Campbell who won the Mexican Open. I mean, such a generic name. You already forgot who won in Mexico. Yeah, it was Brian Campbell. He gets into the Masters, the PGA, and the remaining 5 signature events. That would include the Players, Bay Hill next week. A couple of blasts from the past, names that maybe can get hot, but both Jordan Spieth and Ricky Fowler had their moments this weekend. David Duval did have a 59 on the text line. They're asking. As for the combine, it rolls down to an end. We've talked a lot about the Jags and the needs that are there. The good thing about, maybe it's not a good thing, but a side effect of being a bad team is you got lots of holes. You got lots of holes. You got lots of needs. You got lots of needs. And you pick fifth, you're going to address one with the best possible antidote. That's just the bottom line. But the positions that they'll be considering, they're going to get the best possible fix if they do their homework right. The hardest thing about the draft is just you get in these lanes where this guy's assumed to be this, that, or the other, and that's why you always have first rounders that bust and you have fifth rounders that become Pro Bowlers. All right, the Shazam Spotlight is brought to you by ShazamAuto.com, the Murray Ford Superstore, Stark and Kingsland. They got issues down there in Houston, man. They got some dysfunction going on down there in Houston, and our guy Stephon Diggs, man, he's on the wrong side of Watch What Happens Live. There's all kinds of drama going on with Stephon Diggs. Our Houston sources have sent us this in from Us Magazine, now confirmed by the Houston Chronicle. Do you want your alpha dog number 1 receiver to be accusing a female of physical assault? Is that good? Stephon Diggs claims former Basketball Wives Orlando star Mulan Hernandez attempted to intimidate him physically as part of an extortion attempt. Now, hold on now. You're an NFL receiver. You feel physically intimidated by a Basketball Wives star? Well, those girls will come at you hard with those nails now, RJ. Be careful. So he's filed a lawsuit. Yeah, it happened late last week. It's been obtained by the Chronicle. Diggs, a free agent now who played for the Texans a year ago, alleges he was punched in the chest by Hernandez, threatened with a deadly weapon, and is the victim of a tale of abuse to extort millions of dollars. Diggs is seeking damages for defendant misconduct, the destruction of his property, and then they get into the back and forth about which watch and which property was destroyed. By the way, Hernandez, Mulan's name is really Mia Jones, for what it's worth. Apparently, she and Diggs have had a casual relationship at some point. It's not so casual now. Accusations back and forth. And again, the whole Stephon Diggs, the whole Houston idea just didn't work, did it? And Daniil Hunter was good. Joe Mixon was great. Had almost a career year. The problem is you got production out of those guys aging quickly, and you didn't get any real solid results. All right, on to the result that y'all been asking about. I've gotten a lot of texts on the text line and personally. So I'll give you the answers, and then we'll come back with the questions. The first answer, yes. Yeah, I did it. I did the river run. Second answer, yes. Yes. Second answer is also second question, yes. Yes, I did finish. Third question, no. Did you run the whole way? No, I didn't run the whole way. I was glad just to be able to finish the 9.3. My plan going into the river run, as I was paying off the bet from the Brunch with the Tour, was if I had to, run a half mile and then walk a little bit, or run a mile and walk a little bit. I wasn't sure how much I could get out of the gate. I'll say this, I wish I liked running because it would be a lot of fun, the river run. It's just a great atmosphere. It's a lot of fun if you're like competing, or even if you're just love running. People love to go out and take a 5-mile run. It's their juice, man. I mean,
for you to say that there was 17,000 people there,
there's a ton of people. Dude.
That was shocking to me. I didn't know that many people came out.
It's a real environment. I was surprised how much the adrenaline took me. But man, I just without any training struggle, just go out and run a mile. I ran the first 3 miles really without a whole lot of issues. So got off to just a good plodding, nice start. The weather was beautiful. I ran up until like the four mile-ish mark. Then I started kind of just walk. Had no plan. I'd run for a little while. I'd walk for a little while. My legs died about the 6 mile. Hurt like a mother. Trudging up that mile up that bridge was so much harder than it was the last time I did this race some 20 years ago. But it's it. Check it off the button. And then finally, the last answer, 201. At 201, again, I'm going to say this. Please do not call the River Run Police. I was in a rogue bib, so I don't like if you look up the results, because that's a cool thing, too. You can look up and see how your friends did, how other people did. But I don't show up because one of the Guggen's sons couldn't run the race, and they had extra registration. And by the way, I wanted to do my own, but it sold out to the point that they shut down reservation like a day or two before it. I thought I had, which is not an excuse. I should have done it a long time ago and just never got around to it. So,
do you think Dan or ET could beat your time?
No. But by the way, I took this. I'm not claiming any pride over I'm just saying it took 2 hours and 1 minute. And there's no pride in that statement. It was faster than I expected. It was faster than we all talked about. We talked about between 2:30 and 3. I really thought I'd have to walk more than I did. But no, E's gimpy. E maybe. Hicken, no way. Yeah, no. No. That's a good pace.
If it would have been me, Jeff, I would have done that old take the taxi halfway, hide in the crowd.
No, I feel you.
Run out.
I was pleasantly surprised that my cardio held up. I said this earlier. I just said a little prayer before I started. I said, God, I'm going to need your scuba tank here for a couple hours. I am not ready for this. Just keep me the air. I'll deal with the pounding and the pain if it comes. But I was surprised that like that physical pounding that I felt it like still while we were running. Normally you feel that later. Again, I haven't done it in 20 years. That's, I guess, age. Time we got to miles, like between miles 6 and 7, bro, my legs are dead already. I'm done. But I could finish because I never ran out of cardio. Thanks for the scuba. All right, let's take a quick break. Come back with more. We are live inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
For many, it's the happiest place on earth.
At 17 in Players Championship.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling.
And Beaver Toyota.
On 1010XL.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's exclusive 31-day spring event. Experience superior craftsmanship and timeless design with buy one, get one 40% off custom replacement windows and patio doors. Enjoy the ease of 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires March 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
One thing that separates Beard's Diamonds from those other jewelry stores at the town center, no one's paid on commission.
Nobody at Beard's is on commission. That's more of your corporate stores that pay commission.
Beard's owner, John Lupo, says that means no pressure, no hidden agenda, no extra markups.
And you're getting a better deal. You're not paying the corporate commission. You're not paying the salesperson's commission. If they're paying your salespeople commission, you're starting off in the hole.
And that's why you feel like a number at most jewelry stores, because it's all about making the sale, but not at Beard's.
Because it's a corporate atmosphere and they want to sell you what they want to sell you. We're here to sell you what you want. Our salespeople can do whatever they want to make sure that the customer is happy.
So relax. At Beard's Diamonds, they have all the things you want, like quality education, selection, warranties, and none of the stuff you don't want, like pressure and tacked on commissions.
Nobody's making an extra 5 or 10% on Beard's customers.
Beard's Diamonds, the town center's only locally owned jeweler.
We sell better merchandise, better product for less money, guaranteed.
Mia here. You want to know what I'm so over? Resolutions. You want to know what I am into? The revolution, hitting the road in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. So what do you say? Join the Arlington Toyota Revolution and save big with financing as low as 0% on select new models. Or get up to $8,500 off select new Toyotas. Plus, every new Toyota purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty and 60-day exchange. Shop in person person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/0% for full details.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beatrice here, second-generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beatrice Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do and plumbing is what we're great at. Beatrice Plumbing, here to help.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boaters and landlubbers, friends, four-legged and two, this is Lisa the Botanista with a huge announcement. Freedom Boat Club is opening a brand new 4th location. That's right, Freedom Boat Club St. Augustine Shipyard is now open. Now members can enjoy unlimited access at Julington Creek, Jacksonville Beach, St. Augustine Comanche Cove, and St. Augustine Shipyard. Freedom Boat Club members also enjoy reciprocal access to over 400 locations across the world. There's never been a better time to join. We are offering our biggest discount ever to celebrate our brand new location. We own and maintain an entire fleet of boats. Join the club, and as often as you like, you can do water sports, inshore fishing, offshore fishing, sandbar hopping, dining on the water, or just cruising around town. Visit us at the St. Augustine Shipyard or stop by any of our locations to see what the Boat Cierge experience is all about. Visit us at freedomboatclub.com.
Gang, it's one of life's most important decisions. If you're 18 years or older, you just got married, you just got divorced, you have children, you likely want to take care of your family. Of course you do. That's why I'm here to tell you about Matt Hinson and the Hinson Law Firm. I'm not the attorney, Matty is, but we both want to know, have you done your last will? Man, Dan, I don't know, bring that up. That's depressing. No, it's not. Something you got to take care of, something you want to do because you work hard for your money. You want to get the money to the people that you choose. Planning also helps minimize income, gift, and estate taxes as well. Right? You want to have as much money as you can for your loved ones. Matt Hinson will listen. He'll help you with your decisions. He'll provide you info needed so you're at ease with your choice. It's the Hinson Law Firm. Real easy to get a hold of Matty. 527-1700, 904-527-1700. Office in Jacksonville, Florida. Gang, don't let the state decide your fate.
Grinding out good grades can be just as challenging as winning games. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we're back here. It's the Monday Morning Quarterback live in the divorcemenonly.com studios. Appreciate the boys there protecting the rights of men and all family law issues. This time next week, we'll be starting our Players Championship coverage. Best in the world of golf. Return to the First Coast. Looking forward to being on the grounds each and every day. Looking forward to watching the golf. Looking forward to enjoying the weather, the atmosphere, the party that is the Players. We have a bit of history being made. I think it's a history that it will be short-lived because golf is headed towards a reunification, as it were. But until that, for the first time, a live golfer has qualified for the Players. Well, how's that, you ask? There's a couple of tiny asterisks here. Laurie Cantor of England became the first player with live golf ties, past or present, to qualify for the Players. Now, we've seen the live golfers qualify for the majors. Cantor, who last played on the live circuit in 2023, Finished second this weekend in the South African Open on the DP World Tour. That put him in the top 50 of the official world golf rankings, now projected at number 42 because of that ranking by today's cutoff date. And because he hasn't competed in a live event for more than a year, he'll secure an invitation from the PGA Tour, its flagship event. Again, there's some asterisks there. If he were a current player, then that wouldn't, be the case. So there is that. There's a lot of talk about the Jaguars picking up a running back at some point of the draft. I think I would, kind of agree with that. There's a guy that opened some eyes a bit with his 40 time. By the way, those super fast, like those numbers you see that have a 4.3 on them or a high 4.2, those are hardly ever running backs. Those are receivers and corners, right? Like the fastest guys in the draft are the receivers and the corners, typically. You might get a smallish back, right? One of those third down backs who can really fly. But if you run a 4.40 as a running back, that's pretty strong. I was a bit surprised. Montrell Johnson, Jr. of the Gators, ran a 4.41 40 at his combine yesterday, or 2 days ago. That's a good number for Montrell Johnson. Johnson's got some size. I mean, he's basically 6 feet. He's 5'11 and a half, 212 pounds. And a lot was made of some of those other running backs and they ran. But, yeah, I think Johnson has a lot of skill set to be that back at round 5 or 6 that ultimately ends up surprising people. That, one of those backs that you look up into where'd they get him? What round did this guy come in? Oh, it was round 5 by, Kansas City or whoever it were.
Man, to let you know, Jeff, we have a bit of breaking news.
What do we got?
We had a Dan Hicken sighting.
Oh, what happened?
At jury duty.
Oh, you got any details?
Somebody just said that their daughter saw him in the third row.
Oh,
at jury duty,
trying to get up there and get some. Somebody sent me a picture. He's yawning. I don't know if that's the kind of diligence that they're expecting out of you. From the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Someone asked me, did I grab any shots or beer on the run? I told you one thing about the river run. It ain't no lie. It was started at like mile 2 or 3. That's where it started. Fireball shots here, vodka shots there, beer, this, that, or the other. If you wanted to go down there and just do 8 or 9 shots and then, you could have. But nah. I texted back, nah. Orange slices and popsicles for me. I grabbed a couple of those. I was like a 10-year-old running the race, RJ. Yeah, you got a pop. Can I get 2? I literally asked, can I get 2 popsicles?
Did you bring any water?
But that'll be okay. No, they got it all on the thing, dude. It's a big time race. I got the, it's like when you see in the movies, bro.
Oh, so it's like you stop at the table.
Yeah, they got the big tables. Yeah. They're handing you the water. Oh, yeah. It's big time now. It's a big time, atmosphere to it. Like I said, I wish I loved running. If I loved running, that would have been pretty fun. If I really loved running. You know what's interesting as we come out of the combine, and I don't remember this for a while, and maybe I'm not thinking about it too deeply. Don't we, most years, and maybe we will by the time the draft actually comes, we're early in the process, don't we usually know who the number 1 pick is going to be? A lot of times, from before the college football season even starts. But most of the time, there's always some little push. I mean, there was a push even in Trevor's year that it could be Zach Wilson or this other guy. Or last year, are we sure it's Caleb Williams? Maybe it's this guy. But for the most part, we have a pretty good idea what a team is going to do with that first pick. And we also have a pretty good idea just who the first pick is or is going to be. Do you feel like that's not the case for the Titans? Like, the Titans have the number 1 pick right now. And I really don't know what they're going to do.
Abdul Carter, Cam Ward,
Travis Hunter,
Shador.
Could go with that offensive lineman if you wanted. It's interesting. Their coach, Brian Callahan, and their GM, Mike Borgonzi, have both been involved with making a number 1 draft pick for different teams. So they'll try and use, some of that. But I read this column, but only because it's a division rival, and I hated one at that. But just where the Titans are, what they're trying to do, what the possibilities are, taking what we've seen at the Combine and the others. 5 years ago, Brian Callahan was at the Combine as Bengals offensive coordinator. Cincinnati had the first pick. Joe Burrow was there. That was an easier call. That one worked out well. They knew who they were taking early. Burrow killed it. He was on the board. That was the easy pick, and they knew all along. You know it when you see it, Callahan said. Well, in the coming days and months, the coach and a reworked Titans front office going to have to do it again. There is no Joe Burrow there. You may not even get a Herbert or a Tua or a Trevor. I mean, can Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders be that guy? Man, this is a scary one. And if you're that team, if you're a fan of that team, you probably still want the quarterback. But, man, I still keep seeing every talent evaluator tell me that these two quarterbacks would be 6 and 7 last year. I saw this column that took every top pick by their scouts grade. Every first-round quarterback by their scouts grade since, I think, Trevor's draft. It's either 2020 or 2021. There was like 23 quarterbacks that have gone in the first round. And if you rank them by scouts grade, Cam Ward shows up like 20 and Shedeur at like 22. Like the only quarterback who's been drafted in round one who had a worse grade by the scouts was Kenny Pickett. Does that not give you pause? I mean, at some point, do we need to just take our foot off the gas and say, what are we doing here? Let me tell you a sure way to bleep your franchise for years to come. Take Kenny Pickett number 1 overall. And I say Kenny Pickett because those are the comps. Take these. If I told you who those guys were, and again, these are their pre-draft grades. This doesn't always take into effect what they ended up being. But these guys are, I mean, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders are viewed in terms of prospects as like the 17th and 20th best quarterback prospects of the last 5 years. I don't know how you justify spending the number 1 overall pick on that. And look, Hicken had this conversation, and I argue, well, they will, and I kind of still believe they will. They'll convince and believe that Cam Ward will be the guy, and they'll take him number 1. But if you believe in the scouting at all, I got to assume that NFL teams' own scouting departments are going to reach these same conclusions, aren't they? I mean, it's not like the Pro Football Focuses and the, and the independent, scouts, the Sticks Jerem, all these guys that rank prospects. It's not like, they're going to have Cam Ward 16th and the Titans are going to have him 3rd among all the quarterbacks that have come out. And by the way, a lot of these quarterbacks in the grades, they were wrong anyway. But if you're the Titans and you have that number 1 pick, and for us, the fans, we really don't know, do we?
Don't you feel it has to be quarterback? I really feel like we already know who Will Levis is. He's not that great of a quarterback. So take a chance on Cam or Shedeur. I mean, listen, their workout videos are funny. I mean, the way they're competitive against one another, I don't know if that's going to translate to the league. But I don't know if a guy like Will Levis can be your guy down the line. I think we've seen enough.
I guess the answer, though, is this. Do you take another quarterback at number 1? You lose the ability to take a top prospect because you're taking a quarterback who's no better than Will Levis. These guys, their grade was worse than Will Levis's grade. It's kind of part of the point here. By the way, the Titans are in a similar situation to the Jags. I mean, their GM and coach barely knew each other on New Year's Day. And now they're, trying to build the Titans back to some level. And there's a lot of work ahead. They don't just need a quarterback. They got, Simmons and T'Vondre Sweat on the defensive line. Maybe a couple pieces on the offensive line. Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, about the top end of what they have in the skill position. There are needs just about everywhere. So whether or not they use it on at quarterback there, getting Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, trading the pick, I tell you this, man, if those guys are right about these quarterbacks and that's where they are, it's like it's like taking Gabbard or Bortles. You take it because you have to take it, and they're just not equipped to be ultimately what you're going to need them to be. So a lot going on there, man. A lot going on there. What's Mac Jones going to do, you think? Mac Jones played his way. He's done as a starter, you think, after what we saw last year?
I mean, there's really no starting spots in the NFL if you think about it.
There's teams that need quarterbacks, but probably don't feel like the current quarterback they have is any worse than.
I mean, would the Giants take a flyer on Mac?
That's what I'm asking. Do you?
I would love for him to come back here.
Yeah, I would be okay with it one way or the other. I think we saw enough out of Mac Jones to know that we did not upgrade the backup position like they were trying and hoping to do. And, look, Mac had his moments, got to throw it around some in garbage time, had some really clunker games as well. I mean, it's kind of like a low, high kind of deal with Mac. I'm just, in a year that we keep wondering where certain quarterback prospects might land and what certain quarterback openings, how they will be filled. Mac's name hasn't really come up at all, has it?
No.
Like we hear of we heard these guys under contract, Kirk Cousins and
Aaron Rodgers,
Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields. We're hearing all these names. There are some jobs, but like if you're the Steelers, you don't want Mac Jones, do you? My point being, and God bless you, Mac, I love you. But if you're trying to build a contender right now, Mac had a nice feel-good season here in Jacksonville. Got to play on the field where he grew up watching his favorite team play, had his moments, had some wins. But I
feel like at best he would be a bridge quarterback for any other team.
At best. It feels like what 2024 accomplished for Mac Jones is it settled him into backup role. He's a backup quarterback. And he, if you need him who knows what Mac would have been if anything was on the line. I mean, that's where the Jags were looking. They ran into the deal where you had to play Trevor because you didn't trust Beathard to keep you in playoff contention. Well, last year, that was never really a part of the equation. By the time Trevor got injured and out, they had already failed. It was already a failure. But I just, some of these veteran quarterbacks around the league and which direction teams will go.
If we didn't get Mac, is there a veteran QB that's out there that you would like the Jags to take a flyer on as a back?
I think one thing we've learned is if you lose your starter, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Even if it keeps you a playoff team, at the end of the day, we as fans, we've got minimal expectations. Give us playoff teams, and for the most part, you'll keep us happy. But these NFL teams are building with one thing in mind, and it's not to be a playoff team every year. It's to win the Super Bowl. At the end of the day, it's very rare are the situations where you can lose your quarterback and have any chance in hell of winning a Super Bowl. Now, I say that recognizing that Nick Foles and the Eagles did it a few years back. But, man, it's far-fetched to think you're going to win a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. It's hard to think you're going to win a quarterback with a bottom half-ranked starting quarterback. If you're a backup quarterback, you're through the whole 32, right? For the most part. Although some teams may have two quarterbacks better than other teams' ones. Anyway, I was thinking Mac because we talked about it. What about Mac in Tennessee for a year? It's just he is Mason Rudolph. He's the same guy, right? Titans are kind of getting the Hawks treatment. The Hawks had the number one pick the year in between Victor Wembanyama and Cooper Flagg. The Hawks have the number one pick a year where there's no number one guy. Feels like the Titans with a huge quarterback need have the number one pick where there is no number one quarterback. And I think if they're smart, they will resist the temptation and accept having to find out maybe one more year. I mean, I'm with you. I think we found out on Will Levis. I don't know. Maybe you pull the trigger on Justin Fields or one of those guys for a year. Take Jackson Dart in round 2. I don't know the answers.
Well, let me ask you this, because I heard on another show that we have on here, XL Primetime, Cleo Lemon discussed, do you bring in a quarterback here to Jacksonville, not to necessarily compete to take the job from Trevor Lawrence, but kind of light a fire under him?
Well, I think the fires are lit under Trevor. I mean, I think that's a way overblown narrative. I don't think Trevor's anymore. Did bringing Mac Jones light any fire under Trevor last year? That was the narrative last year, in addition to getting a better. So now you need a better quarterback who can step in. If you're not finding a better starting option out there in a backup quarterback than Trevor, you're not finding anyone out there on the farm who's going to put any kind of real serious threat to Trevor Lawrence's playing time into question. We need Trevor's internal motivation, his guidance from a new staff, the talent surrounding him to take him there. I don't think little mind lobs will do anything. Again, that's just me. It's the Monday Morning Quarterback. You're listening to The Drill on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. We turn it to the 9 o'clock hour right now. The boys would call it the 9 o'clock nasty. I will not do so.
Play-by-play just makes everyday life better.
I did not see this one coming.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL, Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here. In the past 10 years, the weight loss industry has seen it all. New medications, fad diets, sculpting, and still, Awaken 180 continues to stand alone as the proven solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods, and I'm proud to say that Underwoods is the longest-standing member of the American Gym Society in the state of Florida. That's important because the American Gym Society promotes professionalism inside the business, and most important because of how it protects the customer. Gemstones are like most things, and you have to have the knowledge about them before you can tell the truth about them. That's where the American Gym Society fits in. They're the organization that certified gemologists and registered jewelers and certified sales associates with professional titles. Then to ensure that we stay up to date with these gemological advances, we re-win our titles by passing a written test every year. And now I'm proud to say Underwoods has the largest credentialed American Gym Society staff east of the Mississippi River. So if you're interested in diamonds and jewelry and want real professional help, stop by Underwoods.
Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
DuckDuck Rooter is now hiring plumbers. We offer excellent weekly pay, paid holidays, health insurance, 401k, and so much more. Apply now at DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com and click on the careers page. DuckDuck Rooter is an equal opportunity employer.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com
so you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
it's game time for your business, and Advanced Business Solutions has the winning play. With Xerox copiers, you'll never miss a deadline. Fast, reliable, and built for high performance, Xerox copiers keep your team ahead of the competition. From printing to scanning, Xerox brings the MVPs of efficiency to your office. Ready to make the winning move? Hire the champions at Advanced Business Solutions. Veteran owned.
Printers, copiers, and IT management. Advanced Business Solutions.
Hey, Hicken here for Bow 9 Associates. You'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at all of their locations. And Dr. Frank Bowden is certainly one of them, selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world. Dr. Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. Currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area. And, of course, the founder of Bow 9. Visit Bow 9 Associates today and experience the difference. They're keeping the First Coast focused. That's Bow 9 and Associates.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 15% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL, presented by Baker Glass. The number 8 Florida baseball team secured its series against Miami this weekend, but suffered its first loss of the season Sunday after a 6-run blowout to snap the Gators' 11-game win streak. Luke Heyman drilled 2 homers in Game 2 and finished with a team-high 4 RBI Saturday to help clinch the series for the Gators. Florida looks to get back in the win column tomorrow against UCF with first pitch at 6. The number 3 Florida softball team cruised past FAMU yesterday by 8 runs in 6 innings to cap off the Florida Invitational. The Gators now have 16 run rules on the season and will look to extend the streak tomorrow as they take on Houston. First pitch is at 6. I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. It's 57 degrees at 9 o'clock. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, it's the 9 o'clock hour inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. Combine in the books. I think you just kind of completely change your focus now. Nothing's going to happen with any of these prospects, if they're smart, the prospects, that is. Between now and when you make decisions, you'll have some on-campus workouts. That's usually doesn't start here for a couple of weeks. So I think it's just full focus now on free agency for this week. Probably put in some long hours down there at the stadium. You got a whole collection of new guys, and, man, they need to put a good, solid first impression, first imprint on this franchise from the new GM, the new coach, and our old friend Tony Baselli. It's time to go to work, boys. Let's stop frivolously wasting free agent dollars. Let's stop overspending on guys that aren't that good. Let's stop taking players that other teams feel they need to upgrade from. You know, I was looking at center rankings from PFF last year. It only went top 10, didn't go any further. I don't know what Mitch Morse ranked, but Buffalo's center ranked number 8. So that means the Bills let their center go because they needed a better one. And what did they get? A better one. I looked at, it was a similar situation. Guy that, it was a safety. Look at safety ratings. Darnell Savage is nowhere to be found. And the Packers, who let him go, upgraded that position to a guy who was, I think, number 1 at the position. And that's how you do it. You upgrade. That's what we need to start doing around here. I mean, obviously. No one does it on purpose. I mean, maybe sometimes you do. Is there any part of you as a manager of a football organization that thinks that Darby's going to be better than Darius Williams? And I can be wrong on some of the other stuff. I don't really know. I'm not sure how Mitch Morse played last year. I know our offensive line has been beleaguered for decades. And again, it's always fun to drop in this unbelievable stat. Maybe RJ may or may not know this. Do you know who the last... Not all pro. The last Pro Bowl offensive lineman the Jaguars drafted?
Last Pro
drafted? The last Pro Bowl offensive lineman drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know who it was?
Mm-mm.
Is this bad? Tony Baselli.
Gosh, man.
Is that bad?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Haven't had one since?
They've not drafted a Pro Bowl offensive lineman in 30 years. That's how bad they are. That's how poor they've done. They've had Luke Jokel and Eugene Monroe. Those are a couple of first rounders. A ton of high second round picks at offensive tackle through the years. They've never drafted a Pro Bowl offensive lineman since Tony Baselli. Oof. Would you like to tell me the Jaguars offensive linemen that have gone to the Pro Bowl not named Tony Baselli? We'll take a guess on that one. Leon Searcy.
Yes.
And.
Yeah,
that'll do it. That's it. Now, Leon played here 25 years ago. Okay?
What's going on?
This notion of I don't care who's signed. No one has had the stones, the ability, the talent, or the chutzpah to make the move. It needs blowed up, rebuilt, solid, sturdy, reinforced steel. And I don't care whose contracts are what. Get rid of them all if they're not good enough. We need better dudes fast and for a long time. And, buddy, if Will Campbell, who none of us want, none of us talk about, if he's Tristan Wirfs and he's an all-pro tackle, you're doggone right I want him. I want him right now. And circling back to just like another, common theme here. And what I want more than anything is I'll trust you in what you're doing. I am no longer accepting downgrades at positions. It has just driven us into the coffin. It's been doing it for years. We let players go. We replace them with inferior talent. Gee, I wonder why we don't improve. We have been doing this for years. We let a tackle go. The tackle we replace him with his worth. We let a linebacker go. The linebacker we replace with his worth. We let a corner go. The corner we replace with his worth. We let a receiver go. The receiver we replace with his worth. Over and over and over again, year after year after year after year. How else do you explain hundreds of millions of dollars worth of free agent investment, yet no real improvement, record or otherwise? How else do you explain it? You're not upgrading. And yeah, we've grabbed players that probably are a little better than who they replace. Foye, a little kind of falls into that category. There have been a few, not many. Was Eric Armstead any better than Roy Robertson Harris last year? No, he wasn't. At all. Was he more expensive? Yes, he was. Was Gabe Davis better than, forget Ridley, Zay Jones? No, he wasn't. For injuries or other reasons. No, he wasn't. Zay Jones, a bigger impact here than Gabe Davis. Was Ronald Darby better than Darius Williams? No, he wasn't. Was Darnell Savage better than Rayshawn Jenkins? No, he wasn't. Downgrade, 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 down. It's 5 of them. What do you expect? Who was it? It's hard, by the way, to look back next year and wonder what exactly it is we were counting on. You downgraded the roster at 5 big spots in free agency. That can't happen. So no matter what your opinions are on Christian Kirk down there within the organization, I know you can tell me he costs this. He's not value that. Yeah. I don't want any positions moving forward for a team that has a roster better than they think. I don't want any of my positions to be downgrades, not even for a year, not for one season. I don't want Parker Washington to replace Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is better. I'd like to keep Parker Washington, give him a role, have guys in some fill-ins. But, really, job one. And job one is a simple one. No more downgrades. Not a one. From now on, the rule number one is if we're replacing a guy in free agency, or by our decision even more, There's one thing you lose a guy in free agency you're caught having to do. I get it from time to time. But I'm talking about the decisions you make, especially when it comes to cutting guys for salary or other reasons. And if Cisco, you're going to let Cisco go in free agency, we better have a safety better than Cisco. If Kirk or Ingram are going, we better have players better. Not in 2027, now. Done enough waiting. RJ, I know you're a big NBA guy. Do you have a much college basketball rooting interest? Do you pay much attention outside of, like, from a prospect watch standpoint for your bigger NBA fandom?
I'll watch towards, like, the end of the year, especially during tournament time and, of course, March Madness. But that beginning of the year slate, I really don't.
Do you like the conference tournaments and the kind of the preview of the madness? I really I enjoy conference tournament week. By the way, UNF season ends last night. They fall in the ASUN qualifier on the road at Austin Peay. Man, they got outscored by like 30, 40 points from one stage. They had a 13, 14-point lead, ended up losing by 20-something.
It's up to you, JU.
Yeah, JU plays tonight. I think they play in DeLand, maybe. Does that sound right? But a conference tournament can do a lot for your postseason viability. It means more for some teams than others. You know, if you're a team right now that's just been hanging out in the top 10 of the net ranking, you can afford, an upset loss in a conference tournament, get a little extra, get a little extra rest, get a little extra, recuperation time, and it be a benefit more than a liability, right? I mean, if you're the Gators, and let's say you go 1-1 here, and you're a 2 seed, and you get a double bye, and then you get upset, but it's by a good team. Oh, Kentucky beat you. Oh, wow. So what? Now you just get an extra 2 days without the wear and tear, and do you really suffer very much on the seating line? Probably not. It's interesting, though. I saw a really cool, if you're a college basketball fan, it was on ESPN, but it basically was tracking the progress and the results of conference tournaments and which ones are more likely to give you Cinderellas and upsets. They're doing it by the average seed of the champion. And there's a couple crazy polarizing statistical facts here, some analytics here. So the tournament that has favored the higher seed more than any other is the West Coast Conference. That's the one that has Gonzaga in it. The average seed of the champion there is 1.3, the top seed. The second seed, the tie for second seed is the only one to win it because it's Gonzaga's league. In fact, Gonzaga has made the title game in the West Coast Conference. You ready? 27 straight years. 27 straight years they've won to their conference championship game. And by the way, always as either the 1 or the 2. And 15 of the past 16 years, they have faced St. Mary's in the final. Yeah, that sounds like Snoozeville boring to me. And then there's some others that it serves you better if you're a high seed. And then there's this. And this is buoyed by last year, NC State making that run. But the ACC is the one that brings you the most madness. The average seed of the champion of the ACC conference tournament has been 6.3, the highest. And the combined finalist is almost 8. Not only does the ACC have the highest average seed of its champion the past 4 years, it also has the lowest average seed of its runner-up. That's hard to do. But we've seen middling ACC teams, number 7, Virginia Tech 2022, number 10, NC State last year. Win 5 games in 5 days. And for NC State, boy, they carried it all the way to the Final Four, didn't they? A couple other notes. They don't really say about the SEC whether it's high seeds or low seeds that are better off. But I will say this. The number 1 seed in the SEC has lost its first game in 4 of the past 6 tournaments. And that's after getting that double bye. Florida will not be the number 1 seed. It will be Auburn. We know that for sure. The Tigers wrapped it up this weekend. They won't have to share it. Auburn has only 1 conference loss. It came to the Gators. Auburn has only 2 losses overall, 1 to Florida and 1 to Duke. The Gators got a big game on Wednesday against Alabama. It's really it's a marker game. It's a fascinating game. I personally, if I were power ranking the 4 SEC teams, I'd go Auburn. I'd put Alabama slightly ahead of Florida. I hope I'm wrong. And I don't mean for this game on Wednesday. I'm saying chances to win the national title. I would give Alabama a little bit better chance then I would give Florida. They've got more tournament experience. They're a real similar makeup. As good as Walter Clayton is, I feel like Sears is a little bit better. I feel like, and that's all due respect, admiration for Walter Clayton Jr., what he has meant for the Gator basketball program, and he's terrific, and he will be an all-conference player. But that Mark Sears for Alabama, man, he's just got Jalen Brunson written all over him and then plays like him. Florida's going to get a testy Alabama team. That loss to Tennessee, Alabama had that game the whole day, felt like. I watched most of that game on Saturday, and Alabama felt pretty comfy up between 6 and 8 most of the day. Tennessee went on a run with a couple minutes to go and got back in it, tied it in the final minute, and then won it on some, 38-foot buzzer beater. We'll come back and see what's trending. We are coming at you live from the DivorcemenOnly.com studios.
The Players Championship is the biggest PGA Tour event you can win.
If you can't make it to the Players, let 1010XL bring the Players to you with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teed up by Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
The Deck Guys.
And Taco Lou.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local women-owned solar company. At Clay Solar, we're more than just panels and power. We're about people. We make the switch to clean energy simple, stress-free, and built to last. If you've had a bad experience with solar in the past, we can help. We specialize in dependable solutions and top-notch customer service, so you can finally enjoy the savings and sustainability you deserve. Schedule your free consultation at claysolar.com.
Getting a pool? David Garrard here. I just did. But before they dug, I called Clearwater Irrigation, and they capped off all my sprinkler lines so the pool company could just dig away.
Then when your pool's finished, we'll install your sprinkler system back to full coverage.
And now my backyard oasis is getting watered beautifully.
And maybe then, Dave, I could take another quick dip.
Bigger swimming trunks, John. Much bigger.
Clearwater Irrigation.
And drainage, too.
The Drill.
From the DivorcemenOnly.com studios.
Slacker plumbing.
Yeah, hey, listen, I need a plumber over here right now.
Yeah, well, we don't have any openings for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep.
I was just changing the shower head and the water line broke and it's flying everywhere.
All right, 1 week.
What if I throw you an extra $100 to come now?
What's the address?
It's 205.
Oh, I guess he changed his mind.
If you've got a leak that can't wait a week, call Roland Reese Plumbing and fix your plumbing problems fast. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
When you hear Florida Gators baseball on 1010XL, it's brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Florida Gators, and Farrah & Farrah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Poker players, the Run Good Poker Series is coming to Best Bet Jacksonville from April 24th to May 4th with 10 poker events, including the $1,200 main event, hosting a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool, and event number 1, a $400 no-limit hold'em tourney with a $200,000 guarantee. The action is non-stop. One in, win your seat through satellite starting April 4th at Best Bet Jacksonville. For all the Run Good Series structures and details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer. Nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, Forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
If you never saw Zeppelin live, now you can know what it's like. And if you did, relive the magic of Led Zeppelin Live. Get the Let Out is back at Florida Theater March 12th. Get the Let Out. Find out what it felt like to see Zeppelin live. Get tickets now at floridatheater.com.
Folks, Hicken here for Zero Res. And, man, February's running down, but it's still time for you for some of the hottest prices of the year. After the big game, get this house, get a jump on that spring cleaning, right?
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah. Scales of justice in jeopardy this morning. We hope our guy Hicken's faring well with his civic duty. I'm going to say something that's going to immediately mush me, and my friends down there in St. Johns County will look me up. But, man, I've been lucky when it comes to dodging jury duty. Miss Peace had a couple times. I don't think I've had it since I moved to Jacksonville in 1991, either Duval or St. John's. Miss Peace had a couple times that we've gotten out of it for legitimate reasons. But I've been Hicks had it 2 or 3 times since we started 1010XL.
I think we have some insight from inside the courtroom as to what's going on.
Okay, what do we got? Let me hear. Yeah, we got our microphones are hidden everywhere. Let's hope the media mogul's keeping it in line. He's not letting his personality overpower the justice system.
The prosecution is not going to get that man today. No. Because I'm going to get him.
Easy, Hank.
My client,
what?
The Honorable Henry T. Fleming, should go right to you're out of order. The whole trial is out of order.
Yeah, that's right on point. Get him out of there. You're out of order, and you're out of order. The whole blank and blank. There you go. Perfectly sums it up. Perhaps in trouble as we speak. We'll see. He'd be the first guy to go from the jury box to the holding cell. All right. Not official till That's Mel weighs in. The combine is in the books. More than 300 prospects went through the on-field position, the 40 yards, the medical testing, the interviews, all the teams there in Indy. Mel Kiper writes, 9 of my top 10 players in the class didn't work out. There were plenty of players who improved their stock over the past week, exceeded expectations. Who's set to jump up the board the most? I picked out a few players who are rising after the events in Indy. So what's interesting here, what do we look for? We look for positions that we will draft and a correlation to where we might draft them. In other words, if Ashton Genty shoots up the board to top 10, so what? Or if a running back shoots up the board to the second round, so what? We're not going to be taking those guys there. So let's look to either local prospects who maybe caught eyes, Miami, Florida, FSU, Georgia, SEC, or let's look at potential fits and guys that may be playing their well. They're playing their well even better into our particular situation. 6 round 1 players who made a statement. Okay, Omarion Hampton. I see you, Omarion. Round 1 for Omarion Hampton? First rounder? Huh? All right. There's a gap between he and Ashton Genty, but apparently the gap isn't as big as maybe people thought. Hampton had a nice workout, ran a 4.4640. Again, Montreal 4.41. Hampton 6 feet, 221. Mel liked what he saw. He said he projected him number 12 to the Cowboys in a February 25th mock draft. You go, running backs. All right, this guy I saw a lot about. He's a guy that would fit right in with the Jags, maybe round 2, although now it looks like he's played his way into round 1, as this, I don't know, sub-headline said. Armand Mimbo, he is from Missouri, ran sub 540. He's versatile, can play tackle and guard. There's another one. Here's a linebacker. Again, these are first-round designations, so I really don't see the safety from South Carolina we talked about, Nick Owanamori. Again, gone by the time the Jags pick, assuming they don't make some moves. Maxwell Harrison's a cornerback from Kentucky. I saw a lot of people raving about what they saw from him. Again, if it's a first-rounder, it won't matter, but if he lasts till the top of the second, there's a name maybe to file away. All right, 12 risers beyond round 1. And here are names that are more likely to register for us. Because where we are at 5, it's not going to be some wild card name. If we stay at 5, it's going to be one of these big names we're talking about. So here are some maybe names to, at least that caught Mel Kiper's eye. And so these are names that are probably catching other people's eyes. And these are names where you really build, the depth and the strength of your franchise. You build them in rounds, 4 to 7, where you pick up integral, important pieces. The draft doesn't end when you use your second rounder. Our drafts have ended with a second-round pick too many years. But here are some of the ones they like. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas. Here's a corner, Darian Porter from Iowa State. I've seen that. Tyler Shuck is a guy that played well. He's a quarterback, but the Louisville quarterback, right? He stepped up. He did all the, drills. 6'5", 219, and with Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward running chicken, playing scared. Afraid to show any vulnerabilities. I like the quarterbacks who step up like men in the pocket and let it fly. There's really no other way to explain it. If you're a quarterback and you won't throw at the combine, you're chicken bleep, man. You can use it for whatever. It works. Marvin Harrison Jr. last year didn't run at all. We confirmed that. Yeah. Maybe at some point NFL teams need to send a message back to these superstars. You don't run, you don't throw, we ain't calling your name. Because did Marvin Harrison Jr. look like the best receiver last year in the league? He didn't, did he? Well, maybe they're superstar. Maybe, your smelly don't stink. Maybe you're not so good that you can be the first guy to not have to run and let your talent. Lest those that follow behind you maybe say, well, no, I'm not going to do that. Because we watched Marvin Harrison Jr. not run, and he ended up being the third or fourth best player. So I don't know why Tyler Shuck and Jackson Dart and these other guys can throw, and Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders got to be chicken bleep and hide behind their numbers from their senior season or whatever shortcomings they may have. Because if you're too scared to go out and throw it around on a field with air and you're going to lead my team, you're going to be my guy in the pocket, you're going to be my guy in the foxhole, you're too chicken to throw it in front of the Cardinal scouts? All right. Center Jared Wilson, Georgia. That's a name to keep in mind. This Sava Lanea, a guard tackle prospect from Arizona. Here's a D lineman, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins from Georgia. These are all names I love seeing. These are interior offensive and defensive linemen, and I think it speaks to the number that are perhaps out there this year. I got a safety from Virginia who cracks. Again, these are second, third, maybe fourth rounders, but 3 or 4 interior offensive linemen among this 18 and 3 or 4 interior defensive linemen among this 18. RJ, let's see what's trending before we come back and close shop here on a fast-moving Monday morning quarterback.
Number 5.
Welcome to Trending. Starting at number 5, we spoke about it earlier in the program. When it comes to being the face of the league, Anthony Edwards wants no parts of it. When asked, LeBron James said, why would you want to be the face of the league when all the people that cover our game talk about our game on a day-to-day basis and crap on it every day? Obviously, I didn't ask to be the face of the league. I fill in. I understand. Yeah, this is weird energy when it comes to that.
No, I said this before. I disagree with LeBron. And by the way, what do you mean? No, you didn't ask to be the face of the league. You told you were the GOAT.
The chosen one.
LeBron, I don't know if you know about this, but you had a barbershop podcast there, buddy. And y'all kind of gloved off on whoever was in your line of sight at times. So I don't think the NBA athlete is treated any worse than those in other sports. It's ridiculous. Good dudes who do it the right way, like you, for the most part, LeBron, get positive coverage. And LeBron, you've got nothing but positive coverage. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what downside to being the self-proclaimed GOAT and the face of the league. You think you'd have all those hundreds of millions of dollars if you weren't? I don't. So yeah, I didn't buy that. And well, it's good for Anthony Edwards. He doesn't necessarily want to be the face of the league because, well, he's not going to be. So it won't be a problem. The face of the league we've identified. Wemby will be the face of the league when LeBron steps down.
Yes, Wemby shall definitely be the face, at least in the opinion of Jeff Prosser and RJ Saunders.
There's some other guys out there. And Anthony Edwards is a terrific. Listen, last year when Ant was running through those Western Conference Finals, he had a Jordan vibe going. I was all in.
He's the son of Jordan.
He's definitely got that Jordan vibe a little bit, so we'll see.
Number 4.
Coming in at number 4, the Oscars will normally tell you have a time limit in your acceptance speech, but one Adrian Brody did not let the pianist play him off after he won Best Actor at the 2025 Oscar Awards. He refused to let his acceptance speech end until he was done, going so far to tell the in-house orchestra to stop playing music midway through his remarks. Ultimately, the 51-year-old would go on for a full 5 minutes, making it one of the longest acceptance speeches in Oscars history. How long should you go for an Oscar speech,
Jeff? I mean, this is awfully confining for these self-absorbed narcissists to be told when to stop talking and promoting themselves. So I think that they should do the Oscars till 4 a.m. and let these blowhard pontificators have at it. Talk for as long as you want to. Filibuster the whole daggum thing if you want. I like Adrian Brody. He's a terrific actor. Well earned. That's 2 for him now. You win multiple Oscars. You're doing it at a different level than everyone else. I wasn't watching. I didn't watch a minute of the Oscars. I'll watch them occasionally here and there. My Oscar curiosity usually is in line with how many of the films that I've seen. I'd seen 2 or 3 that were on the best film list. I got some. Look, I don't think you should be able to win an Oscar if you don't appear in a theater. Maybe I'm old school, but at some point, this thing's just off the chain. And in some ways, they try and make it more popular and include like some mainstream movies. Yet at the same time, they always give it to some of these artsy reach. Or I'm glad they didn't go for the sympathetic vote. I like Demi Moore. I dig her vibe. Demi's cool. She did not deserve to be she should not have won an Oscar for that horror movie that she did. The Substance. And it should not have won. So I was happy. Often I'm happy and I don't. I guess it can't be anything. I'm sometimes happier to know that someone didn't win than I am that did. Like,
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like I could not get into that Substance movie. And Demi Moore, honest to God, Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street would both be more deserving than Demi Moore and The Substance.
If I could ask this to you, Jeff, if you and Dan Hicken get elected into the Radio Hall of Fame here, how long would you guys go? And would you let an orchestra stop you?
Yeah, we go quick. I would go. Well, he would probably talk all day. I think we'd be relatively quick because we're both kind of old and tired at that point. We'd probably want to wrap this thing up so we can get home and get to bed. Yeah, so we don't want to go real long. It's 10:30, Hick. I mean, be quick here.
Brody said, quote, "Please turn the music off. I've done this before. It's not my first rodeo. I will be brief."
Listen, I do like Brody again and him winning, but it is, again, it's typical Hollywood. The rules don't apply to me. Turn off your music. The rules don't apply to me. I'm the winner. Even though they decided a long time ago, for whatever reason, that everybody who wins, you're no different, Brody. So, he would have lost a fan of me had I been watching, but I wasn't watching because I really don't care, to be honest. I mean, I've said some terrible things about the Oscars through the years that I'm not going to repeat. Overheard in the break. I'll tell you in the break some of the doozies I've dropped.
Number 3.
Coming in at number 3, we had a Gator take on a Gator. Let us explain. Mr. Horschel played his college golf for the Florida Gators, so he knows plenty about the wildlife that is seen on courses in the Sunshine State, including, yes, alligators. And when a gator made its way onto the course at PGA National, Horschel knew what to do. He grabbed a 60-degree wedge, poked it at the gator, and it got back to retreat in the water. He made it look easy. Now, I'm not a golfer, Jeff. I know you golf around this great city of Jacksonville and across the great state of Florida. How many Gators have you seen on the golf course while you're golfing?
A ton. Yeah, a ton. I mean, see them just about every time.
It's natural. See, that's why I don't go on the golf course.
Yeah, the golf courses around Florida, they're all over the place. So, yeah, I'd say the last time I saw a alligator on the golf course was Friday. The last time I was on there. I don't know if I saw one Friday, actually. And we haven't had any out at Julington Creek in a while, but they're pretty common. Most golf courses in this area, if they got a lot of water, they got alligators. And I know sometimes depending on where you are. So, there you have it.
See, that's when I get in that little cart driving off. Goodbye.
Number 2.
Coming in at number 2, we all love the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I have a golden ticket. Well, M&M has launched a sweepstakes that you don't want to sleep on. It'll allow one lucky winner to have a sleepover with 4 friends at the brand's 25,000 square foot flagship store in Times Square in April. M&M estimates that the sleepover comes out to about a value of $10,000 in addition to enjoy a supply of treats and candy that'll be already available. The group will get an opportunity to try an exclusive flavor mix available only during the sleepover. They'll also be treated to an after-hour shopping spree at the store. Does this interest you at all, Jeff?
Give me the nuts. What's the beginning again? What's he doing?
Oh, M&M's.
Yeah.
They have
M&M's.
Yes.
This is where I thought you were saying M&M.
Oh no, not the rapper. Not the
that's
rapper.
why I was the whole time. I'm trying to
the candy.
Yeah, I'm trying to tie together.
The
So I got
candy.
so lost in that story. Okay, so not Eminem the rapper. Eminem's the candy. Okay, now start in New York.
Yes, in New York, they are giving one lucky winner and 4 friends.
Okay.
An opportunity to sleep over at the brand's 25,000 square foot flagship store in Times Square.
Listen, all I would say this: parents, make sure that you get to go and stay there too. Don't let M&M's invite your 4 preteens in to spend the night. So you get to go into the store and then you just get to run to the place, all kinds of candies. And
yeah, so you get to sleep over. You have treats and candy already available, and then you get to try an exclusive flavor mix that'll only be available during the sleepover. To you, the text line, saying that you guys were confused, I started out with saying we all love the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It should have gave you an idea.
Well, no, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying I don't know what the text line is saying. I'm not there. I'm just saying
They're saying they all heard Eminem like you.
Yeah, well, that's just me. Again, I don't side with me, gang. Might always be the
Jeez,
right.
man.
All right, what do we got? We got one more.
Got one more.
Number
This is
1.
it, the hottest story in America.
I understand that we all love AEW, but it seemed like the wrestling night belonged to that of the WWE as John Cena made a shocking heel turn during the elimination chamber.
Oh.
He and The Rock have now decided to team up and become the new heels against one Cody Rhodes. I know you're a big wrestling fan.
I am not gonna be. I'm not making fun of wrestling fans. I spent a lot of my life. When I was a kid, I loved wrestling. I watched wrestling all the way through my young adulthood. I guess when I got the kids, just got busier probably. But I watched wrestling into my 30s, I bet. And I could still, by the way, there's a lot worse things I could turn on just to pass than the whatever Monday Night Raw or AEW or any of these other things. It still appeals to me in a sick kind of way. So no.
Was there ever a wrestler for you that he was a good guy and then he turned into a bad guy and you're like, oh my God, why?
The one thing that when I cut my teeth on wrestling back in the day, it was still the big argument was it fake or was it real? And so once it got to the point it was fake, I didn't believe the heel. Like back in the day, if a guy went from good guy to bad guy and you thought it was still real, ooh, that would really play on your emotions. But when it's just part of a script and they're going to make Hulk Hogan bad for a while and put him in a black T-shirt and a black, I felt like
Let me tell you something, brother.
Too contrived to me. So there you go. That's what's trending. We'll come back, put a wrap on the program, introduce you to an exciting new show we have starting today, Jaguars Today. All that and more coming at you live from the DivorceMenOnly.com studios, 1010XL.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. From pit road to victory lane.
Checkered flag is in the air.
This Sunday at Phoenix, NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. From Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Florida homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Universal Roof and Contract protects your home and your wallet. Invest in a stronger roof and save big. Spend $6,000 and get up to $600 off. $15,000 up to $2,000 off. $20,000 up to $3,000 off. This deal ends March 31st. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey here with Matt and Catherine. They made the decision to lose weight and improve their lives together, both dropping 33 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss.
She came home so excited one day and said, I heard about Awaken 180. I'm so excited. You have to try it with me. It's not medication. It's not a shot. It's food. You're going to make meals. And I think that was one of the biggest selling points.
What makes Awaken 180 different is the maintenance program. Just to know that you get that support gives me the confidence to keep going. I think it's important for people to know how much more fun it is to do it with a partner. Just to have the support system, it's so much more helpful.
It's going to change your life.
Thanks, guys. Like any goal, accomplishing it with someone sharing the same goal makes it twice as easy and twice as rewarding. Grab a coworker, friend, or spouse and make your 180 with the solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 3rd, 2024, Iowa's Caitlin Clark becomes the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer with 3,685 career points. Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
Happy New Year from Big Chief Tire. Frank Frangie here. Start 2025 off right by keeping your car running smoothly. Whether you're traveling for work or heading out on a weekend getaway, their expert technicians will ensure your vehicle is in top shape. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule maintenance, repairs, or tire service. Big Chief Tire's trusted care, you'll tackle every journey ahead with peace of mind. Start the year strong. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling. North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com, powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Hey, imagine having a doctor available to you any day, any time. That's my doctor, Rick Townsend. Why? Well, I've been going to Doc T for a long time. But he told me, he said, Dan, I'm going into concierge medicine. I said, what is concierge medicine? Doc said, well, look, you're not feeling well, you need an appointment, come see me, right? You don't have to make an appointment for 2 weeks later. You got a medical emergency, here's my number 24/7. I'll call right back or get right back to you. It's like being a member of an exclusive golf club, but the cost will surprise you. Now, Doc T, I've stayed with him because he's the best doctor I know. Navy trained, graduated from Wake Forest. So whether it's yearly physicals, office or virtual visits, cancer screenings, referrals to specialists, hospital follow-ups, Doc T's got you covered. And you have questions about this, go to mypvconcierge.com. That's concierge medicine. All your answers at mypvconcierge.com.
Staying Alive, one night of the Bee Gees, a tribute like you've never seen before. Experience the songs and sights of a full Bee Gees playlist performed live. March 6th at Jack Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets at fscjartistseries.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Yeah, I'm cooling down on putting to bed. Certainly the most difficult of the dime bet challenges. I mean, there have been more embarrassing. There's been ones that I hated doing worse. But yeah, I'm going down. Did you see Steph after he got the dunk on Saturday? Did you see his press conference?
Oh, yeah, he said that's the last one for me.
Yeah, that's my River Run press conference. That's the last one for me. Cooling down on that and the pounding that I took. I'm also cooling down on this. And we had a funny little mishear there at the end of the show. Because when you really think about it, there would be nothing more inappropriate than Eminem, the rapper, hosting a sleepover for a bunch of kids in New York City.
I don't think that would go over well.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't go over well. I think lesson learned on that one. Of all the promotional endeavors that any hip-hop artist would like to employ, inviting a bunch of kids to sleep over, that doesn't seem to be working out too well for a currently incarcerated former hip-hop mogul. You feel me?
Oh,
yeah. Probably didn't go real well doing those. Michael Jackson wasn't the best at pulling those off, those arrangements either. So, yeah, keep Eminem out. This is M&M's, the chocolate candy in the hard shell. That's what that is. A noted Gator hater, Jerry Palm. You know, Joe Lunardi's not the only bracketologist. There's others. And Jerry Palm does it for CBS, and we call him noted Gator hater, Jerry Palm, because that's what he is. I mean, but back to football in the days where Florida is really good, and all through, he's always got the Gators about 4-8 spots lower than you think. And to wit, right now in his bracketology, not a 1 seed, and I'm okay with that. Auburn, Duke, Houston, Tennessee, but the third 2 seed. So he'd have them, I guess, officially ranked 7, which I could see being pertinent and fair at the end of this week if, say, they lose to Alabama and then limp out of the tournament. But where they sit right now through this part of the season, they're certainly not number 7. But we are splitting hairs here. That's not going to matter.
Before we get to crosstalk, Jeff, we do have one more giveaway for the Googans. We do have a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Buffett's Coral Reefer
Band. Sure.
At Daly's Place on March 15th, 641-1010. Be caller number 3. We'll hook you up.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Service by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
All right, yeah, let's cool down. I will say, though, of all of the bands that would be most kind of recognized and defined by their singer, I think Jimmy Buffett probably fits in there. Bob Dylan, there's a few where it's just so him. Anyway, what you got coming up on the Jaguars today?
I think there are a lot of bands like that, but Queen comes to mind, Freddie Mercury. But today, looking back at the Combine, obviously, and all the things that might be pertinent to Jaguar fans and the Jags front office trying to put a team together. John Shipley spent the week there. He'll join us coming up today, and we'll discuss whether or not the Jags should have been on Deebo Samuel at the price that Washington had to pay for him, which ended up being a 5th-round pick.
All right. It's at the time of the. It's funny right now where I almost feel like you turn the lights off on the college for a week. I ain't going anywhere, and you've really put a lot of focus and energy and intense scrutiny on free agency and what you're going to be willing to let go, what you're going to try and maintain, and obviously what you're going to go out and get. Because there are so many strategies that could be employed. There really are. It feels like listening to these guys, the interior especially, they want to build through the draft. But what if you went out and got the top defensive tackle on the market in free agency?
Yeah, I think corner is a pretty deep spot in free agency. And I think that is one, we've heard the rumors about Carlton Davis III, but whomever it happens to be, Jair Alexander in a trade or a sign if he's released or whatever, I think you can find a walk in the door starter there. I'd like him to take at least one starting spot off the
I think they have
problem
to.
list.
Well, you have. I mean, you can't put all. You can't. There's just one thing that I want in free agency, and I think if we look back in Jaguars history, an area that we have failed more often than we've recognized. And this is probably even more, probably as it relates to releasing guys for cap reasons or otherwise. We downgrade too much. We got to upgrade. If we let Christian Kirk go, then whoever that receiver is needs to be better. If we let this, like last year's exact opposite, right? We let Jenkins go. Savage was worse. We let Darius Williams go. Darby was worse. We let Ridley and or Zay Jones go. Gabe Davis was worse. I mean, you obviously in free agency, you got to upgrade your positions in your roster and narrative. And if it means that you have to stick with something, I'd take that over downgrading, because we've had a couple years in a row where I feel like we downgraded in the offseason.
Well, obviously, you want to upgrade, but at the same time, you can say, well, if I'm downgrading slightly and I'm getting a guy that costs half as much as the guy that I'm paying now, how much of a downgrade is that if I can take $12 million and apply that to another position? So,
gotcha. All right. Well, Jaguars today is coming up next. That'll do it for today's drill. We'll see you tomorrow.
This is Barry Sanders.
Sanders still on